Blog Talk Radio.
Shavua Tov, a good 7, good strong, sabbatically speaking. Yes, Shalom, Chaverim, Shalom. Give thanks, 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 give thanks.
And now we're going out, so we're coming in. We're off a prayer for King. One of the big tree, the cash box, or even the lot of win. We're off a prayer for King. Boy, said them a dads enough, I said them a done, but Father God, them a the big man. I come hype and get to use because them have millions, but Father God, them a the big man. Oh, we reach the top, them both for gun number 1, but Father God, them a the big man. Say them a shatter, it no matter when I take program. Father God, them a the big man. Boy said them rich but God rich. Father God no switch a because we praise him and we career get bigger. No afraid and no dirty nigga. With them at on them trigger. If them this way, Father God a be the great bigger. Harder me with a me liquor. I chill with me senorita. I read me Bible and I listen to Bob Marley a Rita. Put a bitch at the river, kill on to answer my kita. Father God captain the ship, Father God a the skipper. Boy, said them a dads enough, I said them a done, but Father God them a the big man. I come hype and get to youth because them have couple grands, but Father God them a the big man. Oh, preach it up them both for gun number 1, but Father God them a the big man. Say them a shatter, it no matter what I take program. Father God, him a the big man. Now big up and get on you the weapon, vanity and beauty. No shooty your praise God because that are your duty. Big up all of the cutie with the fat sexy booty. You never above him, brother, no, you never above him, no Gucci. We have to thank him for life, thank him for day, thank him for night, thank him for showing us the wrongs from the right. Thank him for making things right. Thank him for showing us the light when it was dark and we were down and out of sight. Boy, said them a dads enough, I said them a done, but Father God, them a the big man. I come hype and get to youth because them have millions, but Father God, them a the big man. Oh, we reach the top, them both for gun number 1, but Father God, them a the big man. Say them a shatter, it no matter when I take through a rap. Father God, them a the big man. And I was going out, I was coming in. We're off a praise for King. I could have the big tree, I could have the cash pot, I could have even the lot of a win. We're off a praise for King. Boy said them rich but God rich. Father God no switch a because we praise him and we career get bigger. No fear and no dirty nigga. We have them and them trigger. If them this way, Father God a did the great bigger. And me with a me liquor. I chill with me senorita. I read me Bible and I listen to Bob Marley a Rita. Put a bitch at the river, kill on to answer my kita. Father God captain the ship, Father God a the skipper. Said them a dads enough, I said them a done, but Father God them a the big man. I come hype and get to youth because them have millions, but Father God them a the big man. Oh, we reach the top, them both for gun number 1, but Father God them a the big man. Say them a shatter, it no matter when I take program. Father God them a the big man. Boy, say them a dads enough, I said them a done, but Father God them a the big man. I come hype and get to youth because them have couple grands, but Father God them a the big man. Oh, we reach the top, them both for gun number 1, but Father God them a the big man. Say them a shatter, it no matter.
Politics has failed. They let murderers invade. They fulfilled prophecy. They made themselves history. Ready, 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 ready. We go march
now, march from Babylon. March from Babylon, right now, march from Babylon. Ready, 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 ready. We go march from Babylon. Ready, 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 ready. We go march from Babylon. Ready, 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 ready. We go march from Babylon. Ready, 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 ready. We go march down Babylon. Beatrix has failed. I am not afraid. Beatrix has failed. I am not afraid. That's why we are going to march from Babylon. Right now, march from Babylon. March from Babylon. Right now, march from Babylon. March from Babylon. March from Babylon. Yeah, 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 we are gonna march from Babylon. Right now, march from Babylon. March from Babylon. Right now, march from Babylon. March from Babylon. Ready, 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 ready. We go march from Babylon. Beatrix has failed. I am not afraid. Beatrix has failed. I am not afraid. That's why we are going to march from Babylon. Right now, march from Babylon. Right now, march from Babylon. Right now, march from Babylon. March from Babylon. Right now, march from Babylon. March from Babylon. Right now, march from Babylon. March from Babylon, right now. March from Babylon. March from Babylon, right now. March from Babylon.
Yes. Classic right there. The Chosen Brothers. Chosen Brothers. Mash down Babylon. Chosen Brothers, Prince Douglas and them right there. They're there. Mash down, march down, mash down Babylon. So here, Rastafari, Midrash Mondays, mental health, new cycle here, second day of the Shabua right here. Let's ride up, 47th sabbatical study, Re'eh, to see, seen, Re'eh, sight, here.
Andenya, Kasenyo, Iska Arb Baluta Kenoch, Zawater Yemibal, said on the days from Monday to Friday. Salam Lanchi Hun Inatachin Kavrit Beta Christian. Gida Gadawachish Bepazion Binqu Yetaget Unacho. Salam Lanchi Hun Inatachin Kavrit Beta Christian. Peace be to you, our mother, O honorable church. Thy walls are embroidered with topaz. Peace, salam, shalom be to thee, our mother, O honorable church.
The word race is here, what is said according to Royal Order Ethiopian Hebrews and the Orthodox Churchical tradition and tribe of the Ethiopian Tewahedo Church, what is said on the days from Monday to Friday. So here in the new Shavua Tov, a good 7, a good strong.
Shavua Tov, a good 7, good strong, sabbatically speaking. Yes, I. Shalom, Chaverim, shalom. Give thanks.
Speaking of the 7 days, here we're at day 2 right here. Here's Chazadek with March. Understanding here,
Moving forward, forward, march, till we get justice, resist injustice, even if blood run, we will not back down. We keep on going, we keep holding on. We got no guns and no nuclear bombs, man. Unity make us strong. Why should we be silent while we are being down pressed? We must rise up on our feet and protest. March, till we get justice. March, resist injustice. Beatings and tear gas, rubber bullets and tasers, water cannon, till we are galang, live ammunition, still hold position, keep the resistance, no give up, we give thanks. We won't be silent by the violence, we'll be chanting right to the end. March, till we get justice. March, resist injustice. Oh, this murder my ancestors carry, hoping to turn a new page in our story. Till we struggle, blood, sweat, and sorrow, will our children fight the same battle tomorrow? We must overcome through the powers of the Most High for the betterment of the children. March, till we get justice. March, resist injustice.
Psalm 48.
מזמור מ"ח, שיר מזמור לבני קורח.
Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised in the city of our God, in the mountain of his holiness. Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth, is Mount Zion on the sides of the north, the city of the great king. God is known in her palaces for a refuge. For lo, the kings were assembled. They passed by together. They saw it, and so they marveled. They were troubled and hasted away. Fear took hold upon them there, and pain as of a woman in travail. Thou breakest the ships of Tarshish with an east wind. As we have heard, so have we seen in the city of the Lord of hosts, in the city of our God. God will establish it forever. Selah. We have thought of thy loving kindness, O God, in the midst of thy temple. According to thy name, O God, so is thy praise unto the ends of the earth. Thy right hand is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion rejoice. Let the daughters of Judah be glad because of thy judgments. Walk about Zion and go round about her. Tell the towers thereof. Mark ye well her bulwarks. Consider her palaces, and ye may tell it to the generation following. For this God is our God forever and ever. He will be our guide forever, 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 forever.
Oh yeah, in the light of Jaja. Oh yeah, let us give us one brother and sister. If you are wicked man, get us inside the kingdom of Zion. Oh no, no, no. If you are evil woman, get us inside the promised land of Ethiopia.
מזמור מ"ח, שיר מזמור לבני קורח. גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, בעיר אלוהינו הר קודשו. יפה נוף משוש כל הארץ, הר ציון ירכתי צפון, קריית מלך רב. אלוהים בארמנותיה נודע למשגב, כי הנה המלכים נועדו, עברו יחדיו. המה ראו כן תמהו, נבהלו נחפזו. רעדה אחזתם שם, חיל כיולדה. ורוח קדים תשבר אוניות תרשיש. כאשר שמענו כן ראינו, בעיר אדוני צבאות, בעיר אלוהינו. אלוהים יכונניה עד עולם סלע. דימינו אלוהים חסדך בקרב היכליך. כשמך אלוהים כן תהילתך על כתבי ארץ, צדק מלאה ימינך. ישמח הר ציון, תגלנה בנות יהודה למען משפטיך. שובו ציון והקיפוה, ספרו מגדליה. שיטו לבכם לחילה, פסגו ארמנותיה. למען תספרו לדור אחרון, כי זה אלוהים אלוהינו עולם ועד, הוא ינהגנו על מות.
Times like these, what times and times, here the time of the season, the reason for the season changing. Yeah, the politics. But here, Queen Africa, times like these.
Music.
One civilization is not complete without its art, the highest form of expression of human intelligence. You have become complacent, sitting down and allowing the other nations to run away with everything. You have become a bunch of consumers. You are creators. Rise up, mighty people, accomplish what you will. Without confidence, you're twice defeated in the race of life.
Let's took away the voices that gave the people pride. Now we're plunging into darkness. We all have to play our part, make a bold start. Every disc, tell every artist. Media houses, we notice, still have support the slackness. How so much alcohol in our parties. While the girls are broke out at this up over, she drink, knock her out. Now she don't care with them crop her up.
It's times like these, I'm missing our heroes. Times like these.
the shot at them, now we have a lot of them. Press up, back up, now the grave them a go back at them. Them broke the national bird wing. Sell we out clean, me no think we own a damn thing. Jam rock why we giving in to the trick where them a trick we from the beginning. Parents unity wake up from the slumber release with children. Blood them is running. It's society, some missing our hero. Society, I really wish they were around. Shouldn't have to be like this. But Marley, you know you never die in vain. We gonna rise again. Hey, make we use the fist, hold the bell beat, promise till it's will. Nobody now go hear it, you know yellow. This is where them tell you about the bucket where go well. Black woman put on your baggy, that's something they know keep still. And so we get paid, was the society go well. Go ask them who put the crab in a barrel. BM opposition, no done with the quarrel. Unite, come together, teach the people how to chill. It's society, some missing our hero. Society, I really wish they were around. Shouldn't have to be like this. Oh, Miss Lou, we need you. At the first me heard that it hundreds and counting for the murder, this saluted. They took away the voices, they gave the people pride. Now we're plunging into darkness. We all have to play our part, make a bold start. Every disc, tell every artist. Me now, you know this club support the slackness. How so much alcohol in our parties. While the girls are broke out and this up over she drink, knock her out. Now she don't care where them crap her up. It's society, I'm missing our hero. Societies, I really wish they were around. We need you, we need you, we need you, Sam Sharp. We need you, we need you, we need you, Daddy. Yeah, it's society, some missing our hero. Society, I really wish they were around. Shouldn't have to be like this. Marcus Garvey.
Chicka yelling. Keep walking the way, the truth and life. Give thanks, Queen Africa, right there. Times like these. Chinket. No worries, no worries. Yellam, minim Chinket, yellam. No worries. Minim I Cheneko, I'm a signalo. No worries, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so much troubles in the world. Still, right there, that was City Life Rhythm right there. Hard, right? Hard music featuring classic Dean Frazier horns on the horns right there. There's here. Mental health on the first working day of the Shabua here. Mental health Mondays, the Midrash Mondays right here. One more little classic tune before we pick up here. This 47th sabbatical study for this Shabbat Strong. Re, here, see, to see. What are we to see? Seen, sight, classic.
Look more drums.
Psalm 46.
מזמור מ"ו למנצח לבני קורח על עלמות שיר, 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 שיר.
God is our refuge and strength, and strength, and strength, and strength.
אלוהים לנו מחסה ועוז, 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 ועוז.
A very present help in trouble, in trouble, in trouble, in trouble.
עזרה וצרות נמצא מאוד, 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 מאוד.
Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, be removed, be removed, be removed, be removed.
על כן לא נראה בהמיר ארץ, 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 ארץ.
And though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, the sea, the sea, the sea.
ובמות הרים בלב ימים, 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 ימים.
Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, be troubled, be troubled, be troubled, be troubled, be troubled.
יהמו יחמרו ממיו, 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 ממיו.
Though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah, 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 Selah.
ירעשו הרים בגאוותו, סלע, 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 סלע.
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah, 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 Selah.
So we always need more chizuk, more chizuk. The Gemara tells us that one of the things that we need help in strengthening is our tefillah. So one may ask, how can I keep myself motivated for tefillah? How can I keep myself motivated to pray to God? I see things that are not getting answered. You know, it's very hard. Sometimes I'm just not feeling it. And first off, this comes from a person having to know how big tefillah really is and what's on the other side of it. You have to understand that a lot of times when we meet a lot of resistances in something that is so huge and something that's so big, and you have to understand that the other side knows, the sitra achra, the satan, the devil, the whatever you want to call it, the other side of resistance already knows how important prayer actually is. So what do you think? That it's going to be one of the main places that a person is going to have to experience that battle, that fight. But what should strengthen the person is that they should already know, they should be able to judge it by how hard it is for them to do it, that they're able to know how big this thing really is. So that should be motivation for everybody. Rashi himself says that when it says in the Gemara and the Second Brachos, so that there are things that stand at the height of the world. It says, tefillah, this is tefillah, this is prayer. Say that the height of the world, but it's disrespected the most. People don't take it serious. They don't understand that on the other side of this, it's not a maybe. I'm telling you this, especially on the things that are ruchnis, things that are spiritual. It's not maybe. Hashem will save the person. It's going to be dependent on how much emunah you have and how much betachon you have, how much trust that you have and your prayers. That's what's going to depend on you being saved or not. So that should be the chizuk. It's definitely. I see that it's very, very hard for me to pray, for me to open up and to be able to say whatever. I can't feel Hashem feels far from you, you should know that in that moment right now, you're facing the biggest resistance because the biggest prize is on the other side of that. So we should all strengthen ourselves with the feeling for that Hashem.
The Lord's Prayer in English, Ge'ez, and Amharic. After this manner, therefore pray ye. Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Ge'ez. አቡነ ዘበሰማያት ይትቀደስ ስምከ ትምጻእ መንግሥትከ ወይኩን ፈቃድከ በከመ በሰማይ ከማሁ በምድር ሲሳየነ ዘለለ ዕለተነ ሀበነ ዮም ህድግ ለነ አበሳነ ወጌጋየነ ከመ ንሕነኒ ንህድግ ለዚ አበሰ ለነ እታቢአነ እግዚኦ ውስተ መንሱት አላ አድኃነነ ወባልሃነ እምኩሉ እኩይ እስመ ዚአከ ይእቲ መንግሥት ኃይል ወስብሐት ለዓለም ዓለም አሜን። አምሃሪክ አባታችን ሆይ በሰማይ የምትኖር ስምህ ይቀደስ፣ መንግሥትህ ትምጣ፣ ፈቃድህ በሰማይ እንደሆነች እንዲሁም በምድር ትሁን። የዕለት እንጀራችንን ስጠን ዛሬ፣ በደላችንንም ይቅር በለን እኛም የሚበድሉ ይቅር እንደምንል። አቤቱ ወደ ፈተና አታግባን ከክፉ ሁሉ አድነን እንጂ መንግስት ያንተ ናትና ኃይልም ክብር ምስጋና ለዘላለሙ አሜን።
ይበል ኩሎሙ ሁሉም ይበሉ. All shall say, Abuna Zebe Samayat, Abuna Zebe Samayat. The Our Father prayer, the Lord's Prayer.
Boy, everything takes time.
Laken, ko titapalalo. Avinu sheba shemayim yitek adasha shemeka. Tavo malkuteka yaser ritzonika. Komo bashemayim ken baaret. Eta lachem chulkenu. Tena lanu hayom. Usalach lanu. Eta chovotenu. Kaasha salachnu. Gam anachnu lechayarenu. Ve'ala tivienu lide nisayon ki ima chalzenu min hara ki lecha hamamlacha ve'hagevura ve'hatifereta le'olmei olamim. Amen.
In Pervert came across the direct translation of the Lord's Prayer from Aramaic into English, and I just thought everyone needs to hear this. The Lord's Prayer that most people are familiar with is the translation from Aramaic to Greek to Latin and then into English. But this is the direct translation that archaeologists uncovered on a scroll from 1892. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out within us a space where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance to our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that binds us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which will divert us from our true purpose, but illuminates the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, the power and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. And so it is.
Yeah. Check one. Yeah, definitely. It's all good.
When you run them, why you crawl? When you rise, them die fear you fall. But hope and pray Hope and pray, that shine him light my way. Hope and pray, hope and pray, about me never stray. Hope and pray, hope and pray, now go on the clear. Hope and pray, hope and pray, let me a hope and pray. Them want to know how I did it, but I did it. The rest of the times I've been to it. Bad mind, grateful, dance to me pretty to me out and me can't help legit. Move to me things, them fellas, every minute, them fellas, admit it, them stand beside you. And them want to your father, they discipline, them come slip it. But bad mind and grateful, me no want to them no longer. So go and pray for my downfall, me live longer. Me no eat, me no drink from people, no time, me no hunger. Them pray and pray for my downfall, that make me stronger. But hope and pray, that shine him light my way. Hope and pray, but me never stray. Hope and pray, now go on the clear. Hope and pray, let me a hope and pray. Me know by now, the enemies I wonder. They said them send and me still no go under. By now them I wonder, how the youth are progressive and the youth I get stronger. A clean heart is the answer, so for them I with a dumb, I don't know yet no cancer. Just pull your name branch, so them do some filthy things. Now them can't answer, bad mind and grateful, me no want them no longer. So go and pray for my downfall, me live longer. Me no eat, me no drink from people, no time, me no hunger. Them pray and pray for my downfall, that make me stronger. But hope and pray, that shine him light my way. Hope and pray, but me never stray. Hope and pray, now go on the clear. Hope and pray, let me a hope and pray. Hope and pray, let me a hope and pray. Hope and pray, let me a hope and pray.
Tefillah ha'adon. Abinu shebeshamayim yitakadesh shemicha tabor melakotecha. Ya'ise ritzonecha kebeshamayim na'ise be'aretz. Et lachem chukenu ten lanu hayom. Weselach lanu et ashematenu ka'aisher selochim. Anchenu la'aisher ashmu lanu. We'al tabienu lide masakiim chiltzenu min hara'a. Ki lacha hamamalaka wegebra wetifret le'oleme ulamiyim. Amen.
Laken, ko titapalalo. Avinu sheba shemayim yitek adasha shemeka. Tavo malkuteka yase ritzoneka. Komo bashemayim ken baaretz. Eta lachem chulkenu. Tena lanu hayom. Usalach lanu. Eta chovotenu. Kaasha salachnu. Gam anachnu lechayarenu. Ve'ala tivienu lide nisayon. Ki ima chalzenu min hara, ki lecha, ha-mamlacha, ve-ha-gevura, ve-ha-tifereta, le'olme olamim. Amen. Laken, ko titapalalu, avinu sheba shemayim yitek adasha shemeka. Here, it's called the Lord's Prayer here in the Hebrew. After this manner, therefore, pray ye. Pray y'all. Laken, ko titapalalu. Laken, ko titapalalu. Avinu sheba shemayim yitek adash shemecha. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed, holy, set apart, be thy name. Avinu sheba shemayim yitek adash shemecha. Tavo malchuteka. Yase ritzonecha, komo avashemayim ken ba'aretz.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Tavo malchuteka, tavo malchuteka, tabo malchuteka, tabo malchuteka. Thy kingdom come, tabo malchuteka. Ye'aseh ritzoneka. Thy will be done. Ye'aseh, to be done. Ritzoneka, thy will. Ye'aseh ritzoneka. Como as vashamayim, as in the heavens. Ye'aseh ritzoneka como vashamayim. Cain, so like this. Ba'aretz, in the earth. Et lachem chulkenu, ten lanu hayom. Give us this day our daily bread. Et lachem, bread, the bread. Chulkenu, daily. Chulkenu. We share our share of the bread. That is to say, our daily bread. Et lachem chulkenu. 10, give. 10 lanu. Give lanu. Give us hayom. The day, to say like daily, like today. To say today in the sense of daily bread. Et lachem chulkenu. 10 lanu hayom. Usalach lanu et chovotenu, ka'asher salachnu, gam anachnu lechayavenu. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Usalach lanu et chovotenu. Forgive our debts, forgive us. Uslach lanu, forgive us. Uslach lanu et chovotenu, our debts. Ka'asha, as we salachnu, forgive. Gam, also nachnu, us. Le chayavenu, those who are our debtors. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Va'ala tevienu lidei nisayon ki ima chalseinu min hara kia lecha ha-mamlecha v'ha-gevura v'ha-tiferet le'olmei olamim. Amen. Here. And lead us not into temptation. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Here. Ve'ala tivienu. Don't lead us. Ve'al tivienu. Ve'ala tivienu. Don't lead us. Lidei nisayon. Don't lead us, to say like into the hand of temptation. Don't lead us into nisayon, into testing, temptation. V'ala tivienu lidei nisayon. Ki, for as, for if, chalseinu, deliver us. For if you deliver us, mean from hara, mean hara from the evil. Ki, for lecha, for to thee, for to the eye, speaking to he who be, ha-mamlaka, the kingdom, for to the eye is the kingdom, v'ha-gevura, and the gevura, v'ha-gebura, and the power, v'ha-tiferet, and ha-tiferet, and the tiferet, and the tafarai, and the glory, v'ha-tiferet le'olmei, for the of the worlds, to say of time indefinite, of the worlds is one way of bringing it out, but in the Hebrew sense, le'olmei olamim, for forever and ever, often brought out in that sense, but to the time indefinite, le'olmei olamim, amen, amen, true and faithful witness, I admit. Laken, ko, tita palalu, avinu sheba shemayim, יתקדש שמך, תבוא מלכותך, יעשה רצונך, כמו בשמיים כן בארץ. את לחם חלקנו, תן לנו היום, וסלח לנו את חובותינו, כאשר סלחנו, גם אנחנו לחיירינו. ואל תביאנו לידי הניסיון, כי אם חלצנו מן הרע, כי לך הממלכה והגבורה והתפארת לעולמי עולמים, אמן.
והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה ותפארת. 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 Birds that take quietly, foxes in the hole, man at the peaceful race, he has no way to lie, he prays, yes he prays. He prays, yes, he prays. He prays, yes, he prays. Yes, he prays. He prays, yes, he prays. For I and you. For I and you, he prays, yes, he prays, yes, he prays.
Shem Ha'av Wa'Habein Ruach Kadosh. Glory be to the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Glory be. Glory be. We're going to ride up here for this force. Sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat strong. Shabbat Shalom, Senbet Salam, yes I, for this Shabbat Shalom, Senbet Salam, yes I, for this Shabbat this Torah portion reading and feeding right here, this Rastafari sabbatical strong for the Rishon Aliyah, for the first Aliyah of offering, first reading here for this Shabbat Re'eh. Sabbath, behold, Sabbath, see, seen, sight, Re'eh, Shabbat Re. Here. First, Aliyah, the Rishon, Aliyah. Picking up here with the fifth book of Moses, the Hebrew book called Deuteronomy. Here, the Sefer Devarim. Here, picking up at chapter 11, verse 26. For the Rishon, Aliyah, for the first reading, the first offering for this Shabbat. Shabbat Re'eh. B'Shem Ha'av Wa'Habein Wa'Ruach HaKadosh Yahweh Echad. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, He who He be, the One. Re'eh Anoki Noten Lifneikem Hayom Baraka U'Kalala. Behold, Re'eh, I set before you, I've given before your faces, Re'eh, Anoki Notein Lifneikem Hayom, this day, Hayom Baraka U'Kalala, a blessing and a curse. Eta habraka asher tisham'u eta mitzvoti Elohim. A blessing, baraka, if ye obey, if ye hear, if ye heed, if ye obey the commandments, imperatives of Yahweh, of Jehovah, Yah Elohim. Eta habraka asher tisham'u illa mitzvoti Elohim. Asher anokia mitzvah etikem hayom, which I command you this day, and a curse, and a cuss, if y'all will not obey the imperatives of Yahweh, of Jehovah, y'all Elohim, with hakalalaim lo tishamu illa mitzvotai Yahweh Elohim. But turn aside out of the way which I command you this day to go after other Elohim, which y'all ye have not known. With sartem mina hadareka asher anokia mitzaweh etekem hayom laleketa achrei Elohim acharim asher lo yida'etem. And it shall come to pass when Yahweh Eloheka Jehovah the I Elohim have brought thee into the land, whither, where thou goest to possess it, to possess her, that thou shalt put the baraka upon Mount Gerizim and the curse upon Mount Ebal. Are they not on the other side, Yarden, Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the campaign over against Gilgal, beside the plains of Moreh? For y'all, ye shall pass over Yarden, Jordan, to go in to possess the land which Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah y'all Elohim giveth you. And ye, y'all, shall possess it, shall possess her, and dwell therein. And ye, y'all, shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day. And hear, Shema, give ear. Fifth book of Moses, Hebrew book called Deuteronomy chapter 12. Conditions of baraka, conditions of blessing in the land. These are the statutes and judgments which ye, y'all, shall observe to do in the land, which Yahweh, Jehovah, the Elohim of thy fathers, of thy patriarchs, giveth thee to possess her. All the days that y'all live upon the earth, upon the earthly plane, ye, y'all, shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the goyim, the nations, the nationalities, which ye, y'all, shall possess, serve their Elohim. Upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree, and ye, y'all, shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their groves with fire, and ye, y'all, shall hew down the graven images of their Elohim and destroy the names, Shemot, the names of them out of that place. Y'all, ye shall not do so to Yahweh Elohim. You should not do to Jehovah, y'all Elohim, but to the place, the Makom, which Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah, y'all Elohim, shall choose out of all your tribes to put Shemo, his name, to put the Hashem there, even to his habitation shall ye, y'all, seek, and thither and there thou shalt come. And thither and there ye, y'all, shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and your heave offerings of your hand and your vows and your free will offerings and the firstlings of your herds and of your flocks. And there ye, y'all, shall eat lifnei Yahweh Elohim before Jehovah, y'all Elohim, and ye, y'all, shall rejoice in all that ye, y'all, put your hand, your yad to. Ye, y'all, and your households, wherein Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah, thy Elohim, hath blessed thee. Ye, y'all, shall not do after all the things that we, I and I, do here this day. Every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. For y'all, ye are not as yet come to the rest, and to the inheritance which Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah, y'all Elohim, giveth you. But when ye, y'all, go over Yarden, go over Jordan, and dwell in the land which Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah, y'all Elohim, giveth you to inherit, and when he giveth you rest from all your enemies round about, so that ye, y'all, dwell in safety, 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 safety. And hear, Shema Israel. Hear, O Israel, hear for the Sheni Aliyah, the second Aliyah for Shabbat Re'eh, Sabbath, behold, Senbet and Naho. Yes, hear, Shema Israel. Give here, we pick up with the 5th book of Moses, the Hebrew book called Deuteronomy, at Deuteronomy chapter 12, here picking up with verse 11, Deuteronomy 12:11 for the Sheni, for the second reading, the second up offering up for this Shabbat Re'eh. W'haya hamakom asher yibchari Yahweh Elohekem bo le shaken shemo shama tabiu et kol asher anoki mitzaweh etkem olotekem v'zibachekem ma'isarotekem u'terumata yedkem v'kol mi bahara nidarekem asher tidru layawa. Hear the Sheni. Then there shall be a place which Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah Yahweh Elohim, shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. W'haya hamakom asher yibchari Yahweh Elohim bo lishaken shemo shama. Thither there shall ye y'all bring all that I command you. Tabi'u et kol asher anokia mitzaweh hetkem. Your burnt offerings, olotekem, and your sacrifices, w'zibachekem, your tithes, ma'isarotekem, and the heave offering of your hands, u'terumata yedkem, and all your choice vows which ye y'all vow to Jehovah. W'kol mi bahar nidarekem asher tidru layawa, and ye y'all shall rejoice lifnei Yahweh Elohim, before Jehovah y'all Elohim, ye y'all and your sons and your daughters and your men servants and your maid servants and ha-lewim and the Levite that is within your gates, for as much as he hath no part nor inheritance with you. Take heed to thyself that thou offer not thy burnt offerings in every place that thou seest, but in the place ha-makom which Jehovah shall choose in one of thy tribes. There thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, and there thou shalt do all that I command thee. Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, according to the baraka of Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, which he hath given thee. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof, as of the roebuck and as of the hart. Only ye y'all shall not eat hadam, the blood. Ye y'all shall pour it upon the earth as water. Thou mayest not eat within thy gates the tithe of thy corn, or of thy wine, or of thy oil, or the firstlings of thy herds, or of thy flock, nor any of the vows which thou vowest, nor thy free will offerings, or terumat, the gift, the heave offering of thine hand. But thou must eat them lifnei Yahweh Eloheka, before Jehovah the I Elohim, in hamakom, in the place, the spot which Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, shall choose. Thou and thy son and thy daughter and thy manservant and thy maidservant and ha-lewi and the Levite that is within thy gates. And thou shalt rejoice lifnei Yahweh Eloheka, before Jehovah the I Elohim, in all that thou puttest thine hands to. take heed to thyself that thou forsake not Halawi, the Levite, as long as thou livest upon the earth, the earthly plane. When Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, shall enlarge thy border, as he hath promised thee, and thou shalt say, I will eat flesh, because thy soul longeth to eat flesh. Thou mayest eat flesh, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. If the place, Hamakom, the spot which Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, hath chosen to put Shemo, his name there, be too far from thee, then thou shalt kill of thy herd and of thy flock, which Yahweh Jehovah hath given thee, as I have commanded thee, and thou shalt eat in thy gates whatsoever thy soul, thy psyche lusteth after, longest after. Even as the roebuck and the hart is eaten, so thou shalt eat them. The unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike. Only be sure that thou eat not Hadam, the blood, for Hadam, the blood, is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Thou shalt not eat it. Thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water. Thou shalt not eat it, that it may go well with thee, and with thy children, thy sons after thee, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of Yahweh, of Jehovah. Only thy holy isla set apart things which thou hast, and thy vows thou shalt take, and go to Hamakom, the place which Yahweh Jehovah shall choose. And thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, the flesh and the blood, upon the altar, the Mizbeach of Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, and Hadam, the blood of thy sacrifices, shall be poured out upon HaMizbeach, the altar of Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, and thou shalt eat the flesh. Observe and hear all these words, Debarim, which I command thee, that it may go well with thee, and with thy children, thy sons, after thee, forever, for ever, when thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim. Elohim, 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 Elohim.
So right there's the Aliyot. The Aliyot right there, 2 days Aliyot, first and second day. Here the second day, a.k.a. called Monday, right here for the podcast. As it says, do not forsake, neglect, forsake the Levite. So right here on the podcast, we're getting into a little bit more of the overview, summary of this Torah reading and feeding, the 47th degree of our sabbatical Torah reading and feeding study right here. Let's remember the Levite, Ijaman Levi right here with Jah Watchman. Here, corresponding with this Torah reading and feeding for Parashat Re'eh, see, seen, sight, the Watchman.
When I shout out Rastafari, everywhere I go home, tell it to the world to know. I am the living watchman, giving account of every man's action. When mercy comes, or when judgment comes, when I shout out Rastafari, my Lord, only a thing who knows the glorious love I flow. True words sound like thunder to them who don't love Rastafari. In the flame, bring forth lightning and showers of rain.
Heavier gets my load. Only they who know the glorious sound of my soul. True words sound like thunder to them who don't love Rastafari. In this name, bring forth lightning and showers of rain, even moving mountains. I am the watchman, dark encounter. I am the watchman, that is no time. The watchman. When I shout out Rastafari, heavier gets my load. Only they who know this glorious sound of my soul. True words sound like thunder to them who don't love Rastafari. In His name, bring forth lightning and showers of rain, even moving mountains. I am the watchman, giving account of everyone. I am the watchman, I can't be partial. I am the watchman, dark encounter. I am the watchman, dark encounter. I am the watchman.
Forsake not the Levi. Yes, yes. I, Jaman Levi, right there for the Shabbat Re'eh, Sabbath C, scenes, Torah reading and feeding. Watchmen, watchmen, right here. Parsha overview right
This
here.
particular Torah portion. So first of all, Shabbat Shalom, Senbet Salam. This will be like first words. So in the first words on this Torah portion coming forward or coming in within this time right now. Shabbat Shalom, Senbet Salam. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Glory be to the King of Kings, Kedemah Haile Selassie, in the name of Yeshua HaMoshiach, Ani Ma'amin Ki, Yeshua HaMoshiach, Bein HaElohim Hu. I amen that Yeshua is, the Jesus is, the anointed, the Son of the power. He is, He be who He be. Amen and amen. So this Torah portion begins with the reading and feeding. It's called, first of all, the name of the Parashah portion in the Royal Amharic, in the Book of the Seven Seals of the Conquering Line of the Tribe of Judah, the Revised Amharic Bible of Kedamawi, Haile Selassie. It is known as Eneho, and in the Hebrew, Masoretic Hebrew, Re'eh. And Re'eh means to see or to behold. And this key word is found in the portion from the Hebrew book. Okay, it was the Hebrew book, right? The 5 Hebrew study books that we have as a PDF. The Torah portion, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and we're now in Volume 5, or Devarim, using the usual spelling here. So we're going from low degrees to high degrees in our study of the way of His Majesty. The Hebrew book of the Deuteronomy. So this is the Hebrew book of the Deuteronomy, which means the repetition of the law. Torah portion, Volume 5. So I was saying a couple of minutes ago. Well, let me give the portion first of all. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 26. right? And the reading is from Deuteronomy 11:26 to 16:17. And this portion, continuing from the previous portion, right, is at verse 26, which is, behold, re'eh, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. And there's a semicolon right there, but that's verse 26. And here's where we get the title, Ineho, for example, in the Metaf Kedus, right, in the book of the Seven Seals of Kedamawi Haile Selassie. So the evening is already coming in here in the east, on the so-called east, northeast, in the northeast, in the west, in the northeast of the west, that we are on the east coast over here. So let's go to this portion right here using the Yota software on this laptop, and let's go to 11 and 16. So we're once again in the midst of a chapter as we were at 7:11, 7:12 from the 46, the Ikev, consequently, in Dihim Yehonah. Now we're at the 47th, and Neho, Re'eh, linked to Ra'i in the sense of vision and sighting and seeing in the Masoretic. And here at verse 26, the reading from the Metaf Kedus of Negus and Neges, Sima, Sima is the Sima Awol Memphis Kedus, Ahadu Amlak. Ineho, Ine Zare Befitachu, Baraketna Margemin Anoralo. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing, a barakat, and a curse. Baraketna margamin. He sets before them. Now, we have the Ethiopic Torah, or the Orit, is what's called the Octatech. Now, the Western Jews or Hebrews say the Pentateuch. In the East, right, among the Messianics and amongst the Beta Israel, the Ethiopia, we know this as the Octatech. So it's actually 8 books, right? 8 books. Pentateuch is 5 books. Penta, this is Octatech. So the additional books are Joshua, Judges, and Ruth, right? Within our Ethiopian Hebrew and Hebraic Ethiopian triad and tradition and halakha, akahei, the walk. Amen. So here in the Orit Zedagim, the verse 26 reads, Wenahu ana yom akawim idamekamu barakata we mergeme. And Degana means again, from the Ge'ez, Wenahu ana yom akawim idameyakamu barakata we mergeme. All right? So the words, even from hearing it, once again, the Amharic, Ineho, Ine, I, Ana, I, Zare, today, or Yom, in the Ethiopic, the Ge'ez Yom, like in the Hebrew, Yom, like today, Ine, Zare, Befitachu, in your presence, before you, Barakatna, Margamin, Anoralo, Wenahu, Ana, Yom, Akawim, Edameyakamu, Barakata, we margame, right? So behold, the key is Ineho, in the Royal Amharic, in the pure language, from the Ge'ez root Wenahu. Now, what is interesting here? Let me look right here. What is interesting, because it says Wenahu, right? Wenahu. I think the we there, the conjunctive is like and, behold, right? And see. That seems to be only in the Ge'ez, and see. Right, but the nahu, the neho, nahu, right, to see, to behold. It's like to say, look, here it is. Boom, there it is. Like, look, here it is. So that's another way of interpreting this Torah portion. Is like, look, here it is. Look, here it is. Behold, re'eh. Now, re'eh also now is a shared. These are shared Afro-Shemitic root words. So as we are studying from the English version at the kindergarten level, with the Schofield Study Bible at a basic level, then we come to the basic elementary level, like the Hebrew for the Old Testament, the Greek underlying the New Testament using the study software like the Word and Blue Letter Bible. Take baby steps at first, brothers and sisters. Take baby steps at first, right? Because there's a wealth right? There's a wealth to be inherited properly. So let it be done decently and in order. And the decently is like according to a certain ceremonial or rank level. So first principles first, right? That's why we focus on the key word, the neho, my nahu, re'eh. So we're recording this right here as a brief audio to hopefully be broadcast on tonight's right within mainly our heart and our mind, because we might be in a situation where the fullness of peace in the outer bodily sense is not able, the spirit and the flesh wrestling, but focusing on the spirit, the ruach, right, ha-kodesh, focusing on the menfes kedus, the ila irit, will, as we grow, right, as we maintain that joy, the joy and the growth is the key, so that we can not just serve, but also be served, right, by Ayanai, Abba, and Father, and can get the strength to be able to serve and to endure, right, the little things as well as the big things in Ayanai Pilgrim walk, in Ayanai Pilgrim try, right, even through this Almavet, the shadow of death, you know what I mean, of this world, of the end time, because the old system of things is dying, right, but we are in the living, and the living is to be within Ayanai so that we may be that light, right, that light and that salt, as he's speaking, have that savor. So let's just touch on this just briefly right here, right, in the couple of minutes that we have that we want to record. I want to go into a longer teaching because there's a couple of other audios we'd like to share as well with the brothers and sisters, since this is more or less the tone of this, and as we work to having a audio ministry section on our Grace book on RTG, Rastafari Groundation, where we can upload some of these recorded, audio reports and audio sipkets and some of the audios, so that ones will be able to download it on demand. Right? You can download on demand, where some of them will be broadcast, but more of them that we might not have always the time or find the right time or the right means of grace, we can utilize that. So we're about to open up that feature as well. We wanted to be reminded, and also to remind of this fifth season, Devarim Orik Dagim, and this 47th episode or Parsha, which is known as Neho in the Royal Amharic, in the pure language of the King of Kings in Christ, and in the Masoretic traditional Hebrew of the Masorah as Re'eh, which means to see. And the G is Wenahu. Really, it's like, look, here it is. Here he is, here it is. Right? And then there's a female form in Nehuat, but that is gratuitous right now, but still gracious. So let's go forward and look at this portion right here. Interestingly enough, let's just go through. This is first words of this particular Torah portion. So the first observation is that it begins like it's part way in the chapter. So in listening to the audio, right, of Alexander Scorby, we usually repeat the whole chapter. And this is good also in one's study. You might begin at that particular verse to continue on, but it's good to sometimes go over the chapter, because redundancy is good, right? In any good government or kingdom, redundancy, that means repetition. Some things need to be, repeated. You're painting your wall or something like that, you put an extra coat. Why is that? So we have here in verse 26, 11:26, behold, look and see. And the Hebrew, re'eh, has that. Now, that same word in the Ethiopic more leads to that vision. So it's also a vision. But at that time, it was like, look, here it is. Right? Look, here it is. Right? So that continues to verse 32. Then we have chapter 12 of Deuteronomy. And this section here, conditions of blessing in the land. So let's just say that we are beginning to aliyah, and certain ones say, I would like to have a portion of the reading. Right? A portion. Right? A portion of the reading. Right? And see, this is what we need to get the radio ministry together, so that ones will be able to send these updates, and we can have certain things decent and in order. I mean, we're already in that order, but we can continue to grow in his grace and in his knowledge of science. So ones would say, I want to have a reading. We first have to see which are the portions. The Torah, in the Amharic Bible, they are paragraphicals, where certain verses are together in sections. In fact, let's see if I can get a hard copy. I had a hard copy here, but I'm moving books around. Let's just hold on for a moment right there. All right. I wonder whether on the audio, whether I will hear that part and I'll self-narrate. And I just got up and walked into the next room. Anyway, so let's go right here so we can understand this order. Even in some who have good Torah scrolls would see it. Sometimes it's not there in reprinted books. we look at each verse as each verse, but these verses really go together in what we call paragraphicals, right? So, for example, in this Torah portion, reading and feeding from 11:26 of Deuteronomy to 16:17. Let's look at the Metzaf Kedus, right? The book of the seven seals of his majesty. We're in chapter 11. Lo and behold, verse 26, the highest of this, begins a new paragraphical, right? It begins a new paragraphical. Even though if you look in the King James Bible or in other Bibles where they have it verse by verse, you can't see that distinguishment, right? And it's interesting because other areas where the Schofield gives like subsection kind of subscription, like example, from verse 26 to verse 32 is the first aliyah, will be the first reading, right? Would be something like the first reading, which in the English would be from the behold, I've set before you this day a blessing and a curse, to verse 32, and ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day. So one getting that first privilege or that first honor, actually, honor is a more correct term, that glory, would go up and read that in a mikorab, in a gathering, right? In a gathering, or what they would call from Israel's time to New Testament times, and even nowadays to some degree, a synagogue, right? Or a Knesset, right? A Knesset on the Hebrew level, Knesset. So that reading, the person who received that first honor, would in a gathering go up to the bima, that's the table, the Terep Eza, right? The Gebetah, where the ark was usually put there. The Torah is like that law, the tablets of stone. So the Torah represents the content of the ark. They would go up to the Torah scroll or to the Metzaf, and with one of the officiating priests pointing, using a pointer or a yad to point to the section of scripture, that one would read. Usually, this is where the bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah, like where someone, like a youth who's about ready to pass the bar mitzvah, and to go from being a child. See, this is where you go from being a child to being a son or a daughter, a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah, or for I a woda to his eyes or a waleta to his eyes. That one, this is one of the exercises, right? This is one of the acts. This is one of the accomplishments or performances that one should be able to perform. So, when we look over the Torah portion, right, since we're speaking about we should have readers, that is very good. Now we need to look at what is the order of the word nabab and the nabab, or the minbab. What is the order of the readings and how to decipher this. So, for this 47th Torah portion, Ineho Re'eh, right, let's use this as an example. So we're at 11:26, from 26 to verse 32. That first honor would go to whom it will be given to. Right, that would be the first aliyah. Then from chapter 12, because this portion is from 11:26 to 16:17, chapter 12 will begin the second one, where it's the conditions of blessing in the land. So first, let me just count how many portions, right? How many portions are here? Some of them are long, some of them are short portions. If you look at the Schofield, from 26 doesn't have any special designation, but in the Metzaf Kedus, you see an indentation and it's a new paragraph from 26 to 32, right? Just as we have in our Torah. So that shows that how the Metzaf Kedus, by the intelligence it was created, is based on that same foundation as the Hebraic, Messianic, or Judaic root. So we can see that part of so-called Judaism is right and exact. This is how we can test and tell. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, I think, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7 verses till we get to chapter 12, right? Now, chapter 12, right, from verse 1 all the way to verse 14. Now, in the English, you don't see any marking at verse 14. That means verse 15 will be a new section as well, right? A new aliyah as well, from verse 15 to verse 28. Then from verse 29 to verse 31, right? And then, interestingly enough, you have verse 32 apart, which could be a short reading as well. So say if there was a youth that was about to, or working on their rite of passage, right, they might be called up to read that one verse right there, give them the honor to read that one verse in a gathering, like if we were, say, physically gathering together. But in spirit, we want to seek to, perform that as well. Seek to hear and to bring it to pass in spirit and in truth, right? But so there's two ways of looking at it. First, we'll look at it from the basic level, the kindergarten level, the basic first grade, second grade, basic levels. Look at the English. That means we have the section from Deuteronomy 11:26 to 32. Then we have conditions of blessing in the land, right? Then we have no other subscription, but we know from the Metzaf Kedus that there are shorter aliyahs. 12 is broken down into shorter aliyahs, so more ones would have the potential, to read. And it's often good to have others read portions. But while we have the audio readers, because we know sometimes you have to grow first, right? And grow mostly in that confidence to read. Even if you make some mistakes, you correct the mistakes and keep moving in grace, But some of us, we still are growing, right? So we can utilize the time effectively is the reason why we've chosen that. So, so then in chapter 13 is the test of false prophets. So chapter 12 is conditions of blessing in the land. Chapter 13, the test of false prophets. Chapter 14, there's a small section of 2 verses. Then it speaks introductions of dietary laws, right, in chapter 14, right? Then we have chapter 15, the sabbatic year, or the sabbatical year, in chapter 15. And then we have, near the end of chapter 15, the perpetual servant. And then we have chapter 16, the Passover, right, up to chapter 16 and 8. Now, then there's another section, the Feast of Weeks, up to verse 12. And then we have another section, the Feast of Tabernacles, 3 verses, 13 to 15. Then we have another section, the gift of males, right, of the Mandem, right, the King Mandem, Rasta Mandem, from verse 16 to 17. And that would conclude this Torah, the first reading of the Torah portion. Right, so the subject matters, we want to refer to the subject matters more from the Schofield initially, and then we'll reference the Torah portion volume books, the Hebrew book of the 5 books right there that we have as a PDF. And then we also, of course, in our studies, we reference Hebrew for Christians as well. But getting a basic groundation, the Schofield Study Bible is that basic groundation for I at that first kindergarten level, as little children, as a child, so that one can get the milk of the word. So, the subject matters here is, of course, the beginning intro part, right, which is right here. There's no subscription here, but we can call it blessing and curse. Then we have conditions of blessing in the land. Then we have test of false prophets. Then we have dietary laws. Then we have the sabbatic year, or the sabbatical year. Then we have the perpetual servant. Then we have Passover. Then we have, or the Passover. Then we have the Feast of Weeks. Then we have the Feast of Tabernacles. And then we have the gift of males. So subject matters. How many subject matters was that? Were you counting? So we have the opening of this Torah portion, behold, and behold, a blessing and a curse, right? That means choose you this day, right? So that's the first part, right? Then we have second, conditions of blessing in land. Third, test of false prophets. Fourth, dietary laws. Fifth, sabbatic year. Sixth, perpetual servant. Seventh, the Passover. 8, the Feast of Weeks. 9, the Feast of Tabernacles. And 10, the gift of males, of the male. So in this Torah portion, there's 10 parts according to our basic first principle order of study. There's 10 parts to this particular Torah portion. So now we're beginning to read the Aliyah, and once receive that honor and step up to read, we're going to basically use the Schofield Study Bible order from the English. When we're ready to step up to the Royal Amharic, then we'll use the Royal Amharic as that order of reading of the Nabab. And I think that's logical. Not just makes sense, because, there's a sense is fleshy and a sense is spiritual, but that's logical according to the logos, according to the word. So let's look at this right here. So this RSS, I'm going to take some notes right here. So I have my copybook, just started a new copybook. Feel good, start a new copybook, right? Even though ending the old copybook is difficult, but you just have to carry on the themes and the ideas. So put in the title RSS. Just another update for the co-laborers in the radio ministry. When we put the Rastafari Sabbath, we say sabbatical, but when we could start saying Sabbath, more almost like I Wenda does with the word picks, Brother Aaron, and RSS number, whatever the number is, and then put the name, the Hebrew Amharic name. I would say right now we put the Hebrew first, right, or the Amharic as we do at the RTG. So that right there, it's not an imperative, not a command, but it's a command that we put the name in. But whether the Amharic or the Hebrew is first, that's more permissive. I know some will say we should do it like this, but we're not going to take no so-called democratic vote on that right there. The ministers and the co-laborers, we can decide on that. But if ones want to give their feet forward, we should be willing to listen, to it. So, looking at the time right here on this, both it's like 8:41 now when we're recording this in the evening, and the broadcast roughly around 10 p.m. and hopefully it'll go through. It didn't go through last week, but we're not going to fret or worry about that, but give His Majesty in Christ our best blessed, like our blessed best. So we have 10 subject matters, right? We have, 10 subject matters. Okay, we have 10, I'll put 10 aliyah. Aliyot actually is the plural. A singular is aliyah, and plural is aliyot, like aliyot. Aliyot, right? So 10 aliyahs. That means basically for us, 10 basic
Yes. Shalom, Chaverim. We say sometimes Shalom, Chaverim, like peace, friends, Hitarot. Like until we meet again is how it's translated. But the Hitarot come from the Re'eh, like to see, Re'eh, to see. The Hitarot, like we see one another, seeing one another. It's Hitpa'el reflexive. But here, Re'eh. Here we have 10 portions, like 10 kind of reading and feedings right here. We have the Deuteronomy, 10 topics and themes, shall I say, 10 themes in this Torah reading and feeding. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 26 to chapter 16, verse 17. And looking forward to like the Elul, coming forward to 6 months as we're working our way to the 7th month. The month of tabernacles, ingathering, the feast of ingathering, the harvest, the latter harvest, that was called in the Torah the end of the year, right here, at least the holy liturgical year with the 3 seasons, the 3 times here, and the 7 feasts and the 7 festivals, looking forward to the last of the 3. That's often called overall as tabernacles, the ingathering. So here we have the month Elul coming forward, preparing, doing teshuvah, repenting or making corrections, thinking differently, more according to the way, the truth, and the life. We have, this is also a Shabbat of comfort, one of the Sabbath things. This is the third of the 7 Sabbaths of comfort. So basically what we're counting right here is we're counting the Shavuot, the weeks, right, until we come into the fall festival, the tabernacles ingathering season, right, that is at the end of the year. First was the Rosh Hashanah, as the latter Yehudim, call it. Also, that corresponds with the 5th of the 7 appointments, known as the Day of Trumpets, the Yom Teruah, signaling where we're at in the year. But we have the month of Elul, right, coming forward, that preparation time. To do teshuvah, to get our hearts and minds right. Also, what's known as the cheshbon hanefesh. Cheshbon, it's a word to mean like accounting, almost like accounting. The reckoning, accounting. Hanefesh of the soul. Soul accountability. Because we have the Day of Trumpets, right? The Day of Trumpets. That's corresponds to the Rosh Hashanah. The Day of Trumpets corresponds to the Rosh Hashanah, right? And of course, the Rosh Hashanah is often interpreted, from the Hebrew and from outside the Torah concept directly as like the Jewish New Year, right? But it's really the civil portion of the year begins, because the first 7 months, the 7 moons, we say the first 7 months is where we have the 7 appointments. Right, so it's like in season. Now, when we come through the last of the 3, the season of tabernacles, it's like out season, like in season, out season. You know what I mean? So as we come into the out season, the last like 4 or 5 months is more of the civil business. As in those 7 months, we have appointments to keep. So we're looking forward to the 3 appointments coming forward, and a particular area of this Torah portion, reading and feeding, is very significant. That's Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 13 to 17, Chaverim. But as we mentioned, we have this Shabbat coming forward is the 3rd, of the 7 Sabbaths of comfort. And this one is Aniyah So'ara. interesting right here. Just zooming forward, right? Let's just zoom forward right here because a new moon, new month is coming forward. What's the Anya Soara? Picking up with Yeshayahu, Isaiah, Isaiah. We have Isaiah chapter 54, verses 11 to chapter 55, verse 5 for this Shabua. And it's known in the Hebrew as Aniya Soara. The interpretation is, oh afflicted, and storm-tossed, or afflicted. Previous, we had the Vatomer Sion, or Watomer Sion, and Zion said, or some interpret as but Zion said, but really Watomer, and she sang Sion. Zion, she sang, and Zion said. That was like Isaiah chapter 59, chapter 49, Isaiah chapter 49, verses 14 to chapter 51, verse 3. The previous, right, these 7 weeks, 7 Shabuot, right, 7 weeks, 7 Sabbaths, we could say Shabuas of comfort. And we began off here in the season with Nahamu, Ami. Comfort my people. Comfort y'all, my people. Nahamu, Ami. There we began with Isaiah chapter 40, verses 1 to 26. Now that means that after this we have four more. So we're heading into a new month, a new moon, Hebraically, according to lunar solar. Right? It's a 6th month, the 6th moon, often referred to as the month of Elul, right? And there we will have 4 remaining, picking up the 4th Shabbat of comfort coming up in the forthcoming Shabua. That's Anoki, who I. Often this is translated as I, even I am He. But in the Hebrew, it's Anoki, who I, He. I, he, I. To say I am, I, Anoki, who. I, he. Even that right there proves, so we say Ha-Shalush Ha-Kadosh, the Hebrew Trinity. Right? In the KJV, when you see that, you could go look at Isaiah chapter 51, in the King James Version of the Bible, Isaiah chapter 51, verses 12 to chapter 52, verse 12. The main part here, the Anoki, who, is often translated as I, even I am He. All right, but in the Hebrew, it's I, Anoki, who. Like in Hebrew, if one would say like Anahu, the usual I is Ana, right? Anahu, right? Or well, I just spoke in more of the Ge'ez in Arabic there. The Ge'ez is Ana. In the Hebrew, it's Ani, who. I, he. Right, but here we have the more intimate I, Anoki, who, I, he. I, even I am He, I, he. So that's Isaiah 51, chapter 51, verse 12. The full is chapter 51, verse 12 to chapter 52, verse 12. But check out your Bible. It said Isaiah 51 and 12. When you're looking at it in the good King James Version, it should say I, and then the even should be italicized. And then it says I. Sometimes the and might be italicized, sometimes not, but that even there. So the even is not there, the italicized words is not there, the force of the Hebrew. Anoki, who. But then after that, for the 5th week, right, the 5th of the 7 weeks, Shabuot of comfort, is Rani Akara. Namely, sing, Rani, speaking to she, Rani. If I say to a woman, Rani, sing. From the Ranan, to sing, like singing, shrilling in joyful tones. Rani Akara. Barren one. So here it says sing, like to sing aloud, oh barren one. You know, sing aloud, oh barren one, get up your strength, sing. Word, sound, power. Rani Akara. Here we pick up with Isaiah chapter 54, verses 1 to 10. Another interesting feature right? And these same song, not song, but these same areas of scripture, this tradition, this tribe was already in the time of Moshiach, right? Already at the time that Yeshua HaNotzre. But what's interesting about these 7 Shabbats of comfort is that these particular readings and feedings are all from Yeshaya or Isaiah the prophet. So for the 5th week, Rani Akara, sing, speaking to she, O barren one, sing, O barren one. Isaiah 54, verses 1 to 10. The 6th week, we have Kumi Ori, line, Kumi Ori, uninflected, basic, Kumi Ori. A little more full tone, Kumi Ori, rise, Kumi Ori, shine, Ori, shine. Isaiah, speaking to she as well, speaking to Zion, speaking to the soul of the Beit Yisrael. We have Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 60, verses 1 to 22. And for the 7th of the 7 weeks, the Shabuot, the Shabuot of comfort, leading up to the fall festival season, the tabernacles ingathering, the 3 fulfilling appointments with Yahweh Eloheinu. For the 7th week of comfort, we have Sos Asis, from that sus root right there. It's like to say like, rejoice, I will rejoice. Like rejoicing, I will rejoice. Sos Asis. But the translation in the English will bring out the sense of I will greatly rejoice. Like rejoicing, I will rejoice. Like rejoicing, I will rejoice. The translative sense is brought out as I will greatly rejoice. Sos Asis. Isaiah, Yeshaya, chapter 61, focus verses 61, verse 10 to chapter 63, verse 9. So these are the last Shabbats of the Shana, the last Sabbaths of the Shana, the last Sabbaths of the year, where the weekly Haftarah portion, the reading from Ha-Nabim, from the Nabim, the prophets, is usually thematically connected with the weekly Torah portion. However, beginning from the fast of the 4th month, that's often regarded as, some Yehudi refer to from the Babylonian month as the fast of Tammuz, right? Babylonian 4th month was called Tammuz. That was adopted by many of the returning Yehudim. But according to the Torah, we still find it in the scripts as the fast of the 4th month until the end, right, of what's often referred to as the Yehudi year, but the end of the holy year. So the first 7 months, right, constitute in time telling from HaTorah, a certain set apart time, right, the holy part of the year, the churchical, we sometimes call the ecclesiastical part, because after that is a different timing. The only feast or festival we have that is commanded is the weekly Shabbat. That's both in season during those first 7 moons, 7 months, the 7 feasts and festivals, and then after it's fulfilled. So here, right, the connection changes of the reading and feedings. First, we always read 3 prophetic portions of rebuke that leads up to the fast day of the Tisha B'Av, right, the fast day, or the fast of the 5th month, right, the 9th of the 5th month, known as the Tisha B'Av. Then, following the Tisha B'Av, the 9th of the 5th, or the 5th month, the month of Av, and for the next 7 Shabuot, the next 7 Shabuas. Shabuas is to say week. This is why we say when after the Shabbat, our greeting to one another is Shavua Tov, or in modern Hebrew, Shavua Tov, right? Tov, Tawab, a beautifully good, a good week, a good strong, a good 7 days. So here, like with the counting after Passover, where we count those 7 Shabbats until we come up to the harvest. Well, likewise, do we have the harvest, right? The harvest at the end of the year, right? That harvest at the end of the year. So right here, following the Tisha B'Av, and that commemorates the destruction of the first and second temples, Temple of Solomon and 70 AD temple. And for the next 7 weeks leading up to Rosh Hashanah, which according to we Ha-Yehudim, Judaically we refer to as Rosh Hashanah, though Torah-wise, that's the very same day as the Yom Teruah, the day of the ram, the blowing of the ram's horn, signifying that the year's end, that we are now at the end time. This is why, according to Trad, it's known as the New Year, or more correctly, the Civil New Year, because once we fulfill here, we have no more commanded holidays or feasts or appointments, with the exception of the weekly Shabbat. Right? And plus, besides, Yahweh Eloheinu says at the end of the year. So I don't emphasize that. So we say, oh, they call it, there's only one new year. You better study, because it does say at the end of the year. So 7 months is a year? No, this is for holy, set-apart purposes for the Bnei Yisrael. So we read selections of comfort, right? Reading these selections of comfort that foretell of the future redemption of the Beit Yisrael, and here in particular, Ha-Yehudi, the tribe of Judah people, Jah people, and the coming of the Messianic age. So we get into more details on the Re'eh, right? And those 10 themes, Re'eh. So this Shabbat is the Shabbat see, seen, sight, see, Re'eh, right? More full atoning Re'eh, right? Re'eh. See, seen, see, sight, I give before you today a baraka, a blessing, or ha baraka, the blessing, right? Ha baraka, ha is a definite article, ha baraka, and a curse or consequence, ha kelala. If you obey the commandments of Yahweh, Yahweh Elohim, that I command you, today, right? The curse, if you turn aside from the way that I am commanding you today to go after Elohim, Acharim, the Elohim of others, other people gods, other gods, that you have not known. So here, Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 26 to 28, get into this choice factor. And it's interesting because the key word Re'eh, right? Re'eh, to see, literally means to see. But also in the Hebraic sense, to see has a sense of to consider. If you read Ecclesiastes, right, in the English KJV translation, when it says, and I considered, in the Ecclesiastes, Kohelet, the preacher, he says a lot, and I considered, and I considered. Right? In the Hebrew, that's ra'iti, I have seen. Literally, I have physically seen. Right? Seen. Remember, to see the two truths, the Hebrew, Yehudi, two truths, both to see in the natural sense, but also to see with that single eye. Right? To see with, more correctly, that first eye. Instead of the third eye, really, spiritually speaking, the spiritual order of things is the first eye. Right? But whether you see with these eyes first and then the single eye, as HaMoshiach say, see, right? This day he places before I and I Ha Baraka and Ha Kalala. In fact, both for the children of Yisrael, that was the sons of Israel, that was a decision they had to make that day. But in principle, every day, as long as it's called today, is a day of a choice. Right? Dawid made a choice. Right? He made a choice to Yahweh, right, before his eyes. For he understood, overstood. He had the ability to discern that opening, right, the opening his eyes to reality, right, to see it in the natural, the temporal way, but also to see it in his way, right, to see it fully, to see it truly, to see the reality, right, was the only path of real baraka. And we base this on Psalm 16, verse 8, Chabarim. He says, I have set, right? I have set Shawiti, Shawit. I have set Yahweh, he who be, always before me. right? Lefanai, like in my face, in my presence, right? Going deeper into Hebrew, my face, literally before me, also has the meaning of in my perception, right? In my perception. Now, on the other hand, right, we can obtain the kalala. What's the kalala? The kalala. The kalala is the curse, the consequence. It's interesting when we get into more of the words, but it means like to regard something like trifle or trivially. You know, like to regard something lightly, something that you should regard with gravity, with heaviness, with weight, kavod, right? You regard as light thing, kalala, right? But we obtain that kalala when we close our eyes, and that single eye that Robeno Yeshua HaMoshiach speaks about, let your eye be singular, right? The eye. When we close our eye, right, and we forget Yahuwah is always present, right? He who was, he who is, that means he's present, he who will be, right? And he will be present. Suppressing Hailahim Eloheinu's truth invariably leads to idolatry, right? Both literally, but also in the figure of speech. That is that self or the false self-exaltation. Note that the root word for the Hebrew word curse, right? Kalala is kalal or kalal. That means to be treated as of little account. And therefore, this is what ratifies, like puts into effect, ratifies the rebellious heart's attitude, that weak heart's attitude towards Yahweh Eloheinu. And this is what's known Hebraically as the Mida Keneged Mida. What is Mida Keneged Mida? It's something like for measure for measure. Measure for measure. And the best way to translate it is measure for measure. Mida Keneged Mida. We are ignored by Yahweh Eloheinu because we have ignored his way, truth, and life. Therefore, it's like we say to people who say deuces, right? When we say deuces, when people say deuces and put their finger up, like either, like at that, that sign, that hand sign. Well, that there brings out in a kind of a word pick or a kind of a doing of what the word Mida Keneged Mida, measure for measure, deuces. We also are ignored, right, by Yahweh Eloheinu as we have ignored him. Forgive us as we forgive those who check. Just as we are, seen, we are seen by him. We are seen, sight, we are seen by him when we truly seek his face. Yeshaya, Isaiah, chapter 55, verses 6 to 7 brings that out. So we see, seen, sight. What's the old time Rasta might say? Seen, a reason on something. They say, you're seen, sight. Do you see it? All right. Do you see it? All right. And it wasn't always physical, something to see, but it was, with that eye, the true eye, that single eye. So we see that the baraka, ha baraka or ha kalala, or the curse, right? The blessing, the empowerment to prosper, or the curse, the consequence, really comes from I and I own inward decision, in the innermost of the innocence of I and I, our own inward decision. And Eloheinu establishes the path we have chosen. You choose that path, he'll establish it for you. Choose that path, he put before us two ways. Before every man, there's two ways. As Dawid HaMelech, David the king said, right, within Psalm 16, verse 5, Elohim supports my lot, right? He supports my lot. My lot. Lot is almost like a role of the, yes, I know some people who are, so heaven bound and no earthly good and too religious, they don't understand that the lot is like a dice. It's like dice, right? The lot is like dice. It's a roll of the dice. These smooth stones, they would roll, right? But Dawid HaMelech says that Yahweh supports my lot, right? My choice. You know what I mean? And Shlomo HaMelech, he wrote also in Proverbs 16 and 9, the heart of man plans his way, but Yahweh directs his steps. Check. The heart of man, that heart, the mind, right? The heart of man plans his way. However, on the other hand, and Yahweh he directs his steps. That's why he says to the children of Yisrael, B'nai Yisrael, here. He says, see, look, behold, see. Re'eh from Ra'ah. Right? Ra'ah is an aleph, so soft, not to be confused with Ra'ah. That's ain, heartache. That means that which is not beneficial. But re'eh, to see, re'eh. Right? Re, anoki, anotena lifnekem, hayom, be'raka, ukalala. Re, anoki, notena lifnekem. Re, contracted, normal speech. Re, see, re. It's like see. It's a command to see. Right? Re, anoki, I. Right? Right, I, notain, am giving, right? To say like setting, giving, leaf ne kem, before your fanim, before your panim, faces, leaf ne kem, before your faces and your perception, hayom, the day, to say today, hayom, this day, hayom, baraka, baraka, ukalala, baraka, ukalala. A baraka, right? Baraka, empowerment to prosper. They call it in translation a blessing, right? Right? And kalala, right? And kalala, curse from the sense of kalal, to treat insignificantly, to treat of little worth, to dishonor, a disgrace. So choose, the choice factor. So right here, Torah reading and feeding, right here. And here we have a psalm. We have a song. Interesting. It's a 47th sabbatical study. And today's daily psalm is Psalm 46. Let's hear this.
Psalm 46.
Right.
מזמור מ"ו למנצח לבני קורח על עלמות שיר.
God is our refuge and strength.
אלוהים לנו מחסה ועוז.
A very present help in trouble.
עזרא וצרות נמצא מאוד.
Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed.
על כן לא נראה בהמיר ארץ.
And though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea.
ובמות הרים בלב ימים.
Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled.
יהמו יחמרו מימיו.
Though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah.
ירעשו הרים בגאוותו סלה.
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah, 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 Selah.
Yes, yes, yes. Today's daily psalm. Here. Have today's daily psalm. Mizmor, Mim, Wow, Mim, Wow, Mem, Vav, Morning Hebrew, Mem, Vav, Mim, Wow. Mizmor, Mim, Wow. Hebrew alpha, numerics here, Mim. The letter Mim stands for the numerical value of 40, and Wow, modern Hebrew Vav, Wow stands for the numerical value of 6 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So here we have Mizmor, Mim, Wow, Mizmor, Mem, Vav. Here we have Psalm XLVI, Elohim. It's an Elohim Psalm. Elohim, the nation's stronghold. Elohim, the nation's stronghold, right here. So this, today's daily psalm, and the next two psalms, speaking of Psalm 47 and 48, what's interesting is that the psalm for the second day of the Shavua, a.k.a. What's called Monday, the second day of the week, the second day, Yom HaRishon, first day they call Sunday, Yom HaSheni, the second day, is Psalm 48. So right here we have Mizmor, Mem, Wow, Mem, Vav. So this psalm, right, Psalm 46, and the next two psalms, 47, 48, they form a closely connected group, right? So a trifecta, we'd say a trinity, these three psalms, 46, 47, 48, a closely, right, connected group, are of common authorship and originated in the same historical event, horizon, same historical event, horizon. Alike, altogether, they tell of a grievous national danger to the Beit Yisrael, the Beit Israel, that had been overcome by the chesed, by the mercy of Eloheinu, Adonai, Almighty Power, Yahweh Eloheinu. The occasion that probably inspired the three psalms, the trinity of psalms here, Mizmor, Mim, Wow, Mizmor, Mim, Zayin, and Mizmor, Mim, Chet, right? Psalm 46, 47, 48 was said to be the invasion of the land by the army of Sennacherib in the reign of Hezekiah. This hypothesis, right, is strengthened by many resemblances between the phraseology, especially from the Hebrew point of view, right, the scripts, the phraseology and the language of Yeshayahu, Isaiah, Isaiah, who lived through that crisis and also wrote on it. So right here, Mizmor, Mim, Wow, Mizmor, Mem, Vav. Now the theme is Elohim, the nation's stronghold. Here, the K and D, colon deletes. As you can see, those looking at the live stream can see the screen right there. A sure stronghold is Eloheinu. Now that's bringing out the German right there. Haven't mastered that yet, but the Ein Festerberg as unser Gott. Yeah, okay. Basically, the English, a sure stronghold is Eloheinu. As you can see right here, speaking about the reign of Jehoshaphat, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites, more particularly the Maonites in 2 Chronicles 20:1, right? And then they talk about how they carried war into the kingdom of David and threatened Jerusalem. and the spirit of Yahweh came upon Yahaziel, the Asaphite, in the temple, the Haykal congregation that the king had called together, and he prophesied a miraculous deliverance on the morrow. Then the Levite, the Levitical singers, they praise Elohei Yisrael, the Elohim Almighty power of Yisrael, with jubilant voice vis-a-vis the singers of the race, they say, of Kohath. Remember the Kohathites, the Levitical, right, connection? And in fact, out of the family of Korah, they actually the ones who survived. Where it's about Korah and his whole company died, but his sons died not. As we said, the B'nai, sons of Korah. This is the sons of Korah psalm right here. So they made that choice. Their father, they didn't follow in the ways of their father. And therefore, this is one of the significances to seeing sons of Korah as well. On the following day, Levite singers in the holy attire, as the proper garment is a part of that set apartness, and with song they went forth before the army of Jehoshaphat. The enemy, surprised by the attack of another plundering band of the sons of the desert, the Arabs, these are the Arabs, you know what I mean, the white and the black one, but the Arabs, mainly the white ones, had turned their weapons, right, against one another. As it was then, may it be so now, being disbanded in the confusion of flight. And the army of Jehoshaphat found the enemy's camp turned into a field of corpses, dead bodies. In the Feast of Thanksgiving for Victory, which followed in Emeka Baraka, right, the Levite singers again also took an active part. For the spoil-laden army marched thence in procession to Jerusalem and to the temple of Yahweh, right, accompanied by the music of the nablas, cisterns, and trumpets. Thus, the narrative in 2 Chronicles 22, verses 1 to 12, does the chronicler give us the key to the Asaphic, Psalm of Asaph, Psalm 83, and they have 676 questions, and to the Korahite, these Trinity of Psalm 46 to 48, Valley of Jehoshaphat. Get the background, study. It is indeed equally admissible to refer these three Korahitic psalms to the defeat of Sennacherib, as we brought out here in the Sefer Tehillim overview, right? Sennacherib's army under Hezekiah. But this view has not the same historical consistency. After the 14th year of Hezekiah's reign, the congregation could certainly not help connecting the thought of the Assyrian catastrophe so recently experienced with this psalm, right? Mizmor, Mim, Wow, Mem, Vav, and more especially since Yeshayahu had predicted, Isaiah the prophet, Yeshayahu, had predicted this event, following the language of this psalm very closely. For Yeshaya, Isaiah, and this psalm, Mizmor, meanwhile, are remarkably linked together. Now, it goes into some more, as one can see on the screen, speaking about the quintessence of the book of Emmanuel, Amanuel, right? Amanuel, Imanu, with us is El, the Almighty. We can get into that. I'll scroll through it slowly here. If anybody want to read through, right, and pause it right here. Let's just get to the bottom of this right here, right, just to go through it. Now, there's a couple of interesting parts we're just going to go over right here. Let's just scroll down here. As you can see, there's a long intro right here. Now, there's a reason for it, and let's just segue right here. There's a reason for this long intro, because coming from a Western Gentile view, many things can get lost in translation. Let's pick up right here with the Aleph verse. Superscription, right, to the chief musician, for the sons of Korah, Lamanatziach, Libnei Korah, right, a song upon Alamot, Al Alamot Shir. Al Alamot Shir. Now here, let's compare the scriptures right here, the Hebrew and the KJV and the English. So right here, let's go here. Here's where we're at right here. So here, of or for. So when it says of the sons, right, or for the sons of Korah, where it says li b'nei Korah, li b'nei Korah, li b'nei Korah, modern Hebrew, livnei Korah, for the sons of b'nei of Korah. Now, some of this has to do with this word here, alamot. What is alamot? Alamot, right? What is alamot? Where it says laminat tzayach libnei korach al alamot shir, for the leader, the chief musician, the menat tzayach, right, of the sons of Korah. So when you're seeing the English right here, right, that's interesting. Okay, that's very interesting right there. Some will put a psalm of, right, a psalm of. But they didn't do that right here. I noticed that this time in the KJV. Some of you know what I'm talking about, but let's push on right here. First key word right here. Let's touch on the full right here, superscription, right? In Hebrew, for the chief musician to the chief musician, that part, right, is often the first verse, right? So here for the KJV, sometimes the first and second verse is put together. Sometimes they leave the part where it says to the chief musician for the sons of Korah, a song upon Alamot. In some Bibles, that will not be numbered. Hebraically, that is numbered as, part of the first, as the first verse, as the Ale verse. Laminat Iyach Libnei Korah, Al Alamot Shir. So what is this Alamot? Notice it has the word in English, Alamot. Alamot, right? Alamot, BDB, Brown Jarvis Briggs definition, they kind of guesstimate at it. They say it means young woman. They say soprano. They say a term in Psalm heading Alamot, right? Go down here. As a part of speech, it's a noun feminine. Some say down here properly is girls. That is soprano or female voice. They say perhaps it's a falsetto. Right? Let's go to the H5959. Right? Alma. So they derive it here from Alma. Alma. Alamot is plural, and Alma is singular. What is an Alma? An Alma is a virgin or a young woman, right, of marriageable age, a maid or newly married. So there's, with the whole virgin and virgin birth, there's these two words, betula, and Alma, right? This is one of them, right? Alas, or veiled, right? Or private. So alas, like a young girl, alas. But let's go a little deeper. Let's go to H5958 from Elam or Alam. Alam, Elam, right? Alam, here we have Elam. Translates for high pitch. All right. Now, the only clue says with psalteries set, psalteries like psalms, set. You know when we say chief musician, I'll play such and such. So to the chief musician and the musician, right, or the DJ is going to set it to a particular tune. So when you read in First Chronicles 15 and 20, with psalteries set to alamot, with harps on the sheminith. Now the sheminith is the eighth. It's an octave. It's the eighth. and strength, right? Physical, material, political, social, on all levels. Recent experience had proved this to be true in the context of the time of the song. At the time of the crisis, some of the Israelite leaders wished to take refuge in the stronghold of Pharaoh in Kemet. Some of the Israelites sought refuge in Kemet. You see in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2, a point of reference, Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2. And to rely for safety on Mitzrayim, on the Tawid, the two lands, ancient Egyptian aid. They who followed the prophet's exhortation, Isaiah the prophet's build up, exhortation, to look to Eloheinu, Adonai Almighty Power, as refuge and strength, as Machaseh Wa'oz, were justified by the events as they turned out. Very present help in trouble. Very present help in trouble. Ezra bisarota nimsa me'od. Literally, in the Hebrew, that can be brought out as a help in straits and in anxieties and tightness and difficulties. Has he been found exceedingly? Has he been found exceedingly? Nimsa me'od. Ezra bisarota nimsa me'od. A help in straits. Ezra bisarota, has he been found exceedingly? Nimsa me'od. The words, they imply that a testing time had occurred not long before. This is testimonies testifying that a testing time had not long ago occurred. So right here to the bait verse right here, today's daily psalm. Therefore will we not fear, though the earth be moved, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. The midst of the sea, or in the Hebrew, the heart, carried into the heart of the sea. Come from the Hebrew, the sense is into the heart of the sea. All came, therefore, all came. All came aloha nira behamira eretza. Ua bemota harima be yamin, be into the yamin, into the heart of the sea, be yamin, into the heart of the sea. Though the earth change, right? Therefore will we not fear. Therefore all came. Therefore all came. Therefore lo nira, nira, we afraid. Lo, not nira. Lo nira. Behamir aretz. Though the earth be removed, more better from the Hebrew, right? The more, we have the more in behamir, to change, to exchange, to be altered. Although the earth be altered, right? Altered, the implication barter or to dispose of. Although the earth be altered. So the removed is, but it's it clouds the Hebrew perspective. Though the earth do change. Behamir aretz, secure in the stronghold of Eloheinu, Adonai Almighty Power, the Creator. Those within it have no cause to fear. Lo nira, we will not be afraid. Though the earth be overturned by a mighty convulsion of nature, of the natures of nature, and the mountains disappear into the sea. All came lo nira, behamir aretz, the mountains, and the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea. Ubemot, being moved, harim, the mountains, belev yamin, into the lave, the midst. You see the word midst, lave, heart, the heart. That means like the center. In this context, like the center, right? The center. You see what it says? Likewise for the center of anything, into the center of the sea. Belev yamin, the yams, the seas. Actually, it's a seeds. Not, see, KJV says seed, singular. It's really yamim. Yam is sea, yamim is seeds. Believe yamim into the heart of the seas. Here, here, here. Here we have the Gimel verse. Though, the though there, the though is not there. So we're going to read it out the though and the and there. The waters thereof roar, be troubled. The mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Bring up the Hebrew right here, here, here. The swelling thereof, Selah, Selah, right? The interlude, right? Yehemu, Yechmeru, May Mayo, Yira Ashu Harima Bigaewato, Selah. Here, better bringing out the waters thereof, Yehemu, Yechmeru, May Mayo, Yechmeru, May Mayo, Yehemu, they murmur, the waters, right? And are troubled, right? Chamar, they boiled up, they're fermenting, right? The mountains, the harim, they shake, right? Ash, as it says right here, it says Yirashu, harim, they ash, quake, they shake, they quake. Right, with the swelling, the gaiva, like pride. Gaiwa can be in a good sense, a bad sense. Here it says de gaiwato, in the swelling. So here it brings out not so much as the majesty, but the swelling from the root word ga'a, to rise up, the rising up, the swelling, the mounting up. Right, the mounting up, the rising up, the swelling thereof. So here, what do we have here? This Gimel verse, an elaboration of the thought contained in the preceding verse, bringing out that thought in more fullness, right there. So remember, that's the first section right there, verses 1 to 3. Right, we got verses 1 to 3 right there. Now the next section of today's daily psalm, verses 4 to 7. Right, verses 4 to 7. The joy of Elohim's presence, the joy of Eloheinu, I Almighty power, the Creator, the Judge, His presence. A river, right? A river, the streams whereof make glad the city of Elohim. The holy of the tabernacles of Elyon, Nahara, Pelagayo, Yeshamachua Ir Elohim, Kedosha Misha Kene Elyon. Oh, there's the Hebrew right there. Kedosh Misha Kene Elyon, the holiest, right? Meshikane, dwelling places of Elyon, the Most High. Here, there is a river, Nahar Pelagayo, Ye Samhu. A river, the streams, it literally says a river, the streams. So we have Nahar, right? Nahar, the word for a river, Nahar, right? Proper word for river. They say stream right here, but bringing out the river, right? A river. Then we have the Pelagayo. Pelagayo is like the channels, the canals. So it's like saying a river or a stream with the channels and canal, or a river, the channels and canal or the streams make glad. Right, make glad. Ye samach, to rejoice, make glad the city of Elohim, the Ir Elohim, the city of Elohim.
So there is a river or river, Nahar. As a contrast to the storm-swept ocean, the psalmist and I thinks of Elohim here, the almighty power, right, as a river with tributaries, Pelagayo, the Peleg, the streams, the channels, with tributaries whose waters fertilize the country and give refreshment to its inhabitants. The protection of Eloheinu figured here, according to today's daily psalm, as a river, Nahar, as a river, a stream of consciousness, is found in Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 8, verse 6, and Isaiah chapter 33, verse 21. The city of Elohim, the Ir, so we have Ir right there, the Ayar, right, the Ir, right, the city, a place of waking, a guarded place, Ir Elohim. Here we have Sion, we're speaking about Zion, Psalm 48, right, the Monday evening Psalm, Psalm 48, Hebraically the first, right, and the Hebraically be the first and the second and the ninth verse in the Hebrew, first and the eighth verse in the KJV. But where you see Zion mentioned in Psalm 48, as well as Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 60, verse 14. KJV chooses to translate the holy places italicized because there's no word for place. Makom is not there. It doesn't say place, right? But it says holy of the tabernacle of the Most High, or more better, the holiest dwelling place of the Most High. Kedosh Meshikane Elyon. Kadosh Meshikane. Meshikane Elyon. Kedosh Meshikane Elyon. The holiest Kadosh, dwelling place, right? Dwelling place, right? Even bringing out the sense right here, dwelling places in the Hebrew. Meshikane, right? The Mishkans. It's like saying the Mishkans, the dwelling places, the Mishkan. Meshikane Elyon. The dwelling places, the holiness of the dwelling places of Elyon. Elyon, here, Elyon, the highest, Elyon, the most high, Elyon, of the most high. So you can see how most high applies to the most high and also applies to the Davidic king, most high, right? The holiness of the dwelling places of the most high. For the plural of this, also look to Psalm 48, round about the second and third verse. The failure of the Syrian siege of Jerusalem was interpreted as a demonstration, a manifestation of Eloheinu, Ainai, almighty power, had chosen it, Jerusalem, Sion, as his abode, as his Mishkan, as his dwelling place. Here to the Hay verse, the fifth verse right here. Elohim, in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. Elohim shall help her right early. You see the italicized and that right early? No, right early, right? When the morning appeareth, that's what it reads in the Hebrew. I always know that right early. What do you mean by right early? Right, right early, right? Pana, right, to turn, right? And early is boka, at the face of the morning, at the face of the dawning. Or as they say right here, when the morning appears, right? But here, the Hebrew right here, Elohim, Bikarbah is in the midst of her. Elohim Bikarbah, Baltimot. She would never ever, she can't be shaken. Baltimot up. Yah is Reha. Helping her, Elohim, right? Elohim will help her. Yah is Reha. Elohim. Elohim helps her, right? Leaf note, boker. At the approach, right? At the approach of the morning, at the approach of the dawning. First thing first, Elohim is in the midst of her. Elohim Bikarbah. Full toning it. Elohim Bikarbah. regular Hebrew, Elohim Bikarbah. Bikarbah is in Ha, is in the midst of her. In Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 12, verse 6, so long as that remains true, Emet, no human power can avail against the holy city, against the Ir Elohim, Ir Eloheinu. Now, this part in the KJV needs to be brought out where it says, and that right early. Scratch that, right? When the morning appeareth is the more better. At the approach of the morning, at the approach of the dawning. In the Hebrew, right? In the Hebrew, leaf note, boker. Leaf note, boker. After the dark night of peril, Elohim, Eloheinu's deliverance becomes apparent in the boker, in the dawning, the morning. There may be an allusion to what is narrated in Yeshaya, in Isaiah, Esaias the prophet, Isaiah chapter 37, verse 36, where it reads, and when men arose early in the morning in the boker, behold, they, the Assyrians, were all dead corpses, were all dead up. They were dead bodies. So here it's saying that what Isaiah speaks of in Isaiah 37, right, 37, 36, is this idea. Instead of right early, just totally loses it. You can see ISV has at the break of dawn, leaf note, boker, right, at the breaks of dawn, at the appearings, literally it's plural, leaf note, at the faces of the boker, the faces of dawn, of the morning. Here, to the Vav or the Wow verse, the 6th verse right here, needs more to mean Wow, mean Vav. The heathen rage, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice. The earth, she melted. She melted. Hamu goyim amatua mamlakota natana bikoloa tamug aretz. Tamug aretz. The earth, right? The aretz, tamug. She melted. She was moved. She was mugged. In a sense, she melted. Caused her to faint, right? To soften. Really, literally means, can mean like the earth, she softened, right? She softened, right? To melt, to soften. Figuratively can mean to faint, but melted works well. Tamug aretz, the earth, she melted. She melted. Nations were in tumult, right? The goyim, the goys, the goyim, hamu. They were in turmoil. They were murmured in a roar, uproar, clamorous. Hamu, they in tumult. Goyim, the nations. Matu from moat, to tada, to slip, to be shaken. Also the sense of being overthrown. The kingdoms were moved. The kingdoms were overthrown. Matu mamlakot. Natan, he gave bikolo in his voice. He gave by way of his voice, in his voice. Natana bikolo. Tamug aretz. Were in tumult. Hamu, were moved, were overthrown. The verbs here. Matu, hamu, matu. Hamu, they were in tumult, in an uproar, rage. Matu, they were slipping and tottering and shaking and overthrown. These verbs were used of the waters, right, and mountains in the earlier verse 2. These very same words. So what happened in nature happened to the kingdoms, happened to the heathen, happened to their governments, right? Hamu, matu, in tumult, moved, shaken, overthrown. And as they who take refuge in Eloheinu pass, we pass over unscathed through the natures of evil. So they come safely through the political upheavals. So here's talking about the upheavals, right? The upheavals that occur, among the nations, right? But also showing the upheavals in nature. So nature and the nations. And here he uttered his voice, or he gave by way of his voice. He gave in the sense of he gave in voice, right? Natan Bikolo, he thundered, and the whole universe dissolved in fear, right? Natan Bikolo, Tamug Aretz, and the earth, the land, right? The land softened. The land, what is it? Tamug, she melted. Tamug, she melted. She was softened. Right? Yeah. So right here, to bring us right here to the 7th verse of Zayin verse here, Chabarim. Yahuwah Sabaoth is with us with I. The Elohei Yaakov, the Elohim of Jacob, is I. Is I refuge. Right here. And then now we have the Selah. Now in the Hebrew, it says a high place for us. Now here's what's, I knew they did this right here. Now you see Miskav here. If you rewind it, we had Machseh, right? The Machseh as a refuge, a place to flee. Here, they trans both words as refuge, but this is a Miskav. Miskav is a height, high, like sublimity, right? It's like, another way of saying it in another language is that Yahweh Eloheinu, right? Jehovah of hosts is with us, right? And he's our high tower. The God of Jacob is our high place, is our abstraction. It's a higher than high place. But they use the word refuge right here. Let's bring out the Hebrew. Yahuwah Tsebaot Imanu. Imanu is with us, like Immanuel. Yahuwah Tsebaot Imanu. Misagav Lanu. Misagav. He's our abstraction. He's our high place, our inaccessible place. Misagav Lanu. Elohei Yaakov. Elohei, the Elohim of Yaakov, of Jacob. Selah. Diasama, a pause, an interlude right here. Here brings in the name. Yahuwah Sabaoth, Jehovah of armies, he who be, of hosts, full. Yahuwah Sabaoth, Imanu is with us. Imanu. This is reminiscence of the name Immanuel. Yahuwah Sabaoth, Immanuel. El is with us. The Almighty is with us. Immanuel. Where we find that? In Yeshaya, in Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14, and Isaiah chapter 8, verse 8 and verse 10. Immanuel. Here, Yahuwah Sabaoth, Immanu, is with Ainai. For the divine name, the Hashem here, also referred to Psalm 24, round about verse 9, verse 10. Next divine attribute, Elohei Yaakov, the Elohim of Jacob, the Elohim who had redeemed the patriarch from all his troubles. Elohei Yaakov. He is our Miskav, our high place, our high tower, Ainai abstraction. The use of this verb, from that, the noun is derived in Psalm 20, round about the first, second verse. The name of Elohei Yaakov, the Elohim of Jacob, set thee up on high. Make you so high that it's like you're an abstraction, right? They think they're seeing things. They can't touch you. This is the sense of Miskav. I'd like to get in the word Miskav. Miskav is a whole thing right there. I was going to go to the Selah moment and bring up a tune right there, but let's push through right here, and hopefully we'll have an outro tune right here on today's daily psalm, according to the royal order. So now at the Selah moment, as you can see, the interlude, Selah, right? The Selah, not to be confused with the Salah, also written in the same sense. This is the S-E-L-A-H. Don't confuse it with the S-E-L-A. Two different words. It's similar because English, but it's not similar. It's similar in the Hebrew, but one, we can see the difference. Selah.
Selah. Selah, to lift up, to exalt. Some say a technical musical term showing an accentuation of some kind. Depends on what kind of the musical rendition or what is being brought. It can be like in a tune. It can be like going to the bridge, going to the instrumentation, right? And it can also be brought out as a sense of, how would we say, going to the music, Selah, or take down the music. Like you can take down the music. Like if the music is playing, you can go to Selah, like take it down low, take it down low. Like, you know, like we even do with the music now. You know, I select to take it down, take it down. I want the people to hear me. Or at a certain point, after you speak the word sound, you bring in the music. And bringing the music is like medi on this. You know what I mean? Like something sometimes is so deep, you hear something, you just have to just, you know, just listen to the music and kind of, you know what I mean? Like medi, you know, go into a medi, a meditation, a meditation. So right here, the Selah, bringing out a little more of the Selah right here, a suspension of music, right? A suspension of music and or a continuation of music, depends on the context. You know, right here, suspension of music, right? But here, let's bring this out right here, suspension of music from the Salah sense, to make light of, to toss, right? But you see, the second one more is appropriate for the Selah, to weigh, to balance. You know, either bringing down the music, it can also mean to hang, right? To hang, you know what I mean? To value, to evaluate, whether with the music or suspending the music. So the Selah can mean a suspension of the chant for a moment, for people to think about it, right? Or going to the bridge. Be that as it may, right there. The last part of today's daily psalm, according to the royal order, here we have verses 8 to 10. Verses 8 to 10. The Chet verse, verses 8 to 10. Here. Liku, Chazu, Leaf, Alot, Yahweh, Asher Sam, Shamot Ba'aretz, Asher Sam, Shamot Ba'aretz. Behold, come, behold, Liku. So Liku here is like when we say Lekadodi from Yalak. Come. But here it's speaking to like you all, speaking to like a group of one. Liku, Chazu. Chazu means to behold, but Chazu is special. Chazu comes from Haza. Haza means, it can mean to see, to behold, to look, to behold, but it more means to prophesy because the word Chazon is vision. Chazon is the vision. So where it says Chazu, see the vision. Liku Chazu. See, but to see the vision says behold, but to see as a seer. Before they were prophets, they were called seers in the ecstatic state, to see, to perceive with the intelligence, to see, seen by experience, a sense of provisa, right? But here, Strong's bringing out best of the Chazah in Chazu, the command, to gaze at, mentally, Chazu, mentally to perceive, to contemplate with pleasure. Specifically here, Liku, come y'all, Chazu, right? Have a vision, y'all. See the vision, right? So not just a re'ei see, right? Or re'u, we could say re'u. Liku, re'u. That means like to see with like your regular eyes, see, right? But here, specifically, Chazu, to behold a vision. So Liku, Chazu. Here we have the lesson of the crisis, right? We have verses 8 to 10. The psalmist calls upon all nations to take note of what had occurred and to draw the moral, right? Liku chazua leaf alota. Here. The works of Yahweh, right? The mifal, mif'ala. It could be mif'al, mif'ala. Here we have mif'alot, the plural sense.
mif'alot, the work or the thing made, what he has already did, as a sense of the performance, right? The performance. Mif'alot, leku chazu mif'alot Yahuwah. Come, see the vision of the works, the performances, right, of he who be, of Yahuwah. Leku chazu mif'alot Yahuwah. Performance. Here, the root word here, and then we're given right here. This word, right here, right. So the Strongs give you the root word, but then you compare that with the context as it's written in the scrolls, right? Second part of the verse right here, it says, what desolations, right? What desolations he hath made in the earth. Asher, Psalm, Asher, that which Psalm is an interesting word. They have it over here. Asher, Psalm. Psalm comes from Sum, Sim, but Psalm is that which he has set, that which he has appointed, right? To set, to Psalm, Sum, to put, right? That which he has put, right? Asher, that which Psalm he has put, Shamot, right? Shamot. What is Shamot? Shamot comes from Shama, the singular sense, waste, horror, Shama, right? Shama, singular, Shamot, plural, the waste, the horrors, the appallment, right? The sense of desolation, the ruins. Shama, a ruin. Shamot, the ruins. Asher, right? That which, when it says Yahuwah, he who be, Asher, he who, Psalm, who has set, who has put Shamot, desolations or ruins, consternations. Could be astonishments, right? Ba'aretz, in the land, by extension, in the earth, right? Hath made desolations. Asher, Psalm, Shamot. Better, hath wrought astonishing deeds, awesome deeds. The rout of the mighty Assyrian force was an astounding event. And this is also historically testified too. Some people say, is that archaeology? Yes. The psalmist pictures the overthrow of the great military power of Assyria, before the comparatively unwarlike people of Yehuda, by comparison, right? As a victory of shalom, a victory of peace. Much as the early part of the 19th century, the overthrow of Napoleon, for example, was regarded by some as this. Like it could never, this guy was just, they were just beating everybody. And then this little small people just, what? A similar reaction is experienced in our own time at the thwarting of the long and thoroughly prepared plans of world domination, new world, they're going to take over everything, like the fascist invasion, right? Of Ethiopia, 5 years to the very day. They was like, what? 5 years to the very day. And he said, what? World war. Or we can go to the Battle of Ottawa. How could this little people defeat this mighty, this mighty imperialistic Babylonian power? Same thing. Deuces. Mida conneged Mida. Here. To the next verse right here. Here we're at the eighth verse. Look more. Here. Close. He maketh wars to cease to the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in fire. But when they read it in their time, this was how a better translation contextually can be made and brought out. He maketh wars, right, to cease to the end of the land. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariots, not just chariot, but chariots in the Aish. Here. Mashkita milachamota adak etzeya haaretz. Esheta yashabir
Wikitsa Chenita Agalot Yisrofa Baesh. Agalot, the chariots, Yisrof, he seraphed them, burnt them, Yisrof, Ba'esh, in the Aish, fire. He maketh wars to cease. Now it says all over the earth. It doesn't say no all over the earth in the Hebrew. You see, I want to say to the end of the land, to the edge of the land, because contextually, war has ceased out of Yisrael with the overthrow of the Assyrians. But war was going on elsewhere, right, in the whole wide earth. But the context of the word Aretz can be land or it can be earth. The context of this is that he maketh wars to cease to the edge of the land, right, to the edge of the land, in the land, in our land. You know, we're in the covenant with Yahweh Eloheinu. So here, he maketh wars, mashkit, right? Mashkit. Here you go, right? Slicha. I misread that. Mashbit. Did I misread up there? Mashbit again. Slicha, ani lechozer. I repeat. Here. Mashbit milchamota adak itzei haaretza. Kesheta yishaber, wek itzeitza chenita, agalota yisrof, ba'esh. Here. He maketh wars to cease. Mashbit. Mashbit come from Shabbat. But Shabbat here is not as a noun, like the Sabbath day, Yom HaShabbat. Shabbat here is as the verb. So it's mashbit, milchamot, the milchamas. Milchama is the wars. He maketh the milchamot, the wars, to cease. Mashbita milchamot adak itzei, to the edge haaretz, to the edge of the land. Assyria, for example, was typical of an aggressive power. And the overthrow by the hand of Eloheinu, Adonai Almighty power, gave hope and expectation that the many similar campaigns that had desolated the weaker nations. So it's even here in Psalm 46, as of his majesty before the League of Gentiles, the League of Goyim, the League of Nations. He was appealing for what? The weaker nations. So is Yahweh Eloheinu, right? Echad is one. So this gave hope and give hope that the many similar campaigns that had desolated the weaker nations would be brought to an end in their aretz, in their land as well. The finest utterance of that hope, that expectation, is in Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. So he caused the wars to take a Shabbat, right? Mashbit milchamot adak itzei haaretz. Second part of the verse, right here. He breaketh the bow. Right? Keshet yishaber. Keshet. He breaketh the keshet. The bow. The bow for hunting, the bow for battle, right? The bow, the keshet, the bending, the bow, the shooting, the arrow. He breaketh the bow. Keshet, yishaber, breaketh, right? To shabar, yishaber, he breaks. It's in the sense of he breaks. Not that he did it, but like he does this. He's doing this. Keshet yishaber with kitzetz, where kitzetza chanit, right? And he cutteth katzatz to katzatz, where it reads right here, where kitzetz, and he cuts off, right? To hew, to like cut in two, to chop off, right? The spear, chanit. Chanit is the spear. The chanit is the spear, the spearhead. Right, the lance for thrusting, right, the chanit, the javelin, right here,
right? So what do we have right here? Breaketh the bow. Breaketh the bow. Eshet Yishaber. The language is doubtless suggested by the scene of the battlefield strewn with broken weapons and burnt vehicles. All implements of war are to be rendered useless by Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Tzebaot, by I Almighty power. For a similar declaration of breaking the bow, Keshet Yishaber, we can find Zechariah chapter 9, verse 10. Then to get to the last part of this right here, this verse here, Agalot Yisrof Ba'esh, Egalota Yisrof Ba'esh, Agalota, Agala, the cart, the wagon, right? There's two types of chariots. There's a Merkaba, right? But this is not the Merkaba. This is the Agala. The Agala is like a cart. It's like a wagon. The Merkaba, the Merkeb is like the other type of chariot, and more like the war chariot. So even the word used kind of tells us the period of time that the psalm was written in, because there's different nuances of word. But here we have the Agala, right? The Agala comes from the Agol. Agol mean around, like a circle, to revolve, like the wheels turning in a circle. You remember the old time carts? So the Agala. So here it says Agalot, the carts or the wagons, right? Yisrof, from Saraf. This word we find in Seraphim. The Seraphim, the burners. Seraphim, to burn. Saraf, to burn, to set on fire. So in other words, bringing this out, he sets on fire, right? The wagons of war, the carts and wagons of war. He sets on fire the wagons of war. And it's plural, not singular, like the KJV says. It's not Agala, it's Agalot, right? He burneth the Agalot by Aish, in the Aish, in the fire. He cooks them. He sets them on fire. Yes. So what do we have here? Chariots. This is not the usual word for war chariots. Take note. The usual word for war chariot is the Merkaba, it's a Merkaba, right? From Rekeb, the rider, Rekeb, Rakab. But here we have not the usual word for war chariots. But elsewhere, this word means wagons, Agalot, from Agala. Now the Targum, the interpretation of LXX, the Septuagint, they understood it as a weapon, and they translate it as shield. It's interesting because in the Targum, ancient Yehudi Targum, and also the Septuagint, they understood this Agalot, as a weapon, and they translated in their translation, LXX Septuagint, as shield. In 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 20, and chapter 26, verse 7, there's a cognate word that is used for baggage wagons. This brings up the true sense. The baggage wagons. See, the baggage wagons, they were the wagons of an army, or whenever they set a barricade, they would have baggage wagons for a barricade and also the baggage wagons for the army. But hallelujah, because Agalot Yisrof Ba'esh. It's only their supplies, the supply line got burnt too, right? In a modern sense, put it in context, it's like the supply line got burnt, right? Excellent strategy to win a war, you know what I mean? Definitely. So when you study the scripture from a non-religious but a realistic perspective, you learn and see those principles. Here we have the Yod, the Yud, the 10th verse right here. A lot of people like this verse. This verse brings a lot of reasoning, ain't it? Right? Here, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. Here we have the well-known, be still and know that I, Elohim, I will be exalted among the Goyim, among the nations, the Gentile. I will be exalted in the earth. Interesting verse right here. Here's the Hebrew of this verse. Harpu Udu, Ki Anoki Elohim, Arum Bagoyim, Arum Ba'aretz, Harpu, Harpu. KJV says, be still. Harpu, Harpu, Harpu. It comes from Rafa, Rapa, and Rafa, Rafa. Rafa actually, you see what it says? It means to sink, to relax, sink down. Harpu is speaking to like you all, like speaking in the context of this to like the nations, versus the enemy nation. Harpu, sink, relax yourself. Harpu, let drop, be disheartened, drop, relax, drop. The better sense of this is like slacken, but the context here be let it be. But to bring out a sense in translation, harpu, speaking to these nations, desist, harpu, u and deu, to know, from the yada sense, to know. Harpu, u, ki, for anoki, for I, anoki, Elohim, am Elohim, contextually speaking, the creator, the judge. Ki anoki Elohim, right? You know when they say like in court, they say all rise. It has a sense in the context of the ancient Hebrew. Harpu udu, be still, let it be, desist from warlike adventures to win supremacy. Desist, let it be, desist, right? Desist, harpu, Rafa, sink, relax yourself, warring enemy nations. Desist, abandon your idea. You know what I mean? Forsake that, let it alone. Right? Be quiet, slacken yourself from war. You know what I mean? Take off all that military, calm down. Desist from warlike adventures to win supremacy. Harpu, and deu, yada, y'all. Get to know, right? Learn to know, right? Discern, discriminate. Know this by the experience. Consider this. The sense of this word here, yada, right? In that sense, to know, he knew. Like, know this. Ascertain by seeing. See what happened to these that Yahweh Eloheinu had to deal with, right? And how he dealt with them. So for y'all, harpu, udu, be still, let it be, relax, desist. Eloheinu is supreme. Our Elohim is supreme. Eloheinu, our Elohim, our creator, our judge, our almighty power, decides the destinies of the nations. Ergo, therefore, harpu udu, ki anoki Elohim, for I, Elohim, for I am Elohim. Interesting right there, that for I am God, I am the judge. Bringing it out in the Hebrew sense, as the Hebrews who knew the Yehudit would understand it, Yahweh is saying, I am the judge. I'm the creator. I will decide how this goes. Ki anoki Elohim. Arum. I will be lifted up. Arum. You see what it says exalted? The word exalted here comes from room, right? To rise up, to be high, to be exalted. Arum. I will rise up. I will be high. I will be raised. Rise. Arum. He says, Arum Bagoyim. I will be raised up. I will be high, exalted. Bagoyim. In the nations, and the context is like upon the nations. Arum. I will be raised up, lifted up. Ba'aretz. On the earth, in the land, and in the earthly plane. I will be exalted in the land, in the earth. The thought underlying this phrase, here, this phrase here, it becomes the subject of the next song. Remember Psalm 46, 47, 48 is the Trinity, Hebraically speaking. So the theme, right, the underlying thought here in this particular verse, it becomes the subject of the next song. Say it here once again, right? Be in awe, but no more better be still. Let's see who else brought this out pretty good.
Be still, yeah, but it's like relax yourself, desist, relax yourself. You know, stop your striving. I like how the NET, stop your striving and recognize Ki no Ki Elohim, that I am Elohim. I will be exalted over the nations. Arumba Goyi. I will be exalted over the earth, over the land, over the earth. Arum Ba'aretz. Here. And here to the concluding verse right here, today's daily psalm, the Yod Aleph. The Yod Aleph. Right? Yud Aleph, Yod Aleph. Here we have the 11th verse right here. Yahweh Sabaoth, Jehovah of Sabaoth, Yahweh of the Sabaoth, right, of the Seba, and Seva. Now, what is Sabaoth? When it says Sabaoth, Jehovah Sabaoth, Yahweh Sabaoth, Yahweh Sabaoth, it means the Sava is that which goes forth to war, the army, the host. Right? You can see right here that the Sava, now Sabaoth is plural, right? Yahweh Sabaoth, right? Of hosts, an organized army. Can be a host of angels. The Sava, the host, can be like sun, moon, and stars, right? All of them together is a host, the whole creation. But the key of this is like a warfare, right? Sabaoth, concerning war, concerning I and I working together in the campaign, right? In the campaign. Warfare, service, but it's plain sense is going out to war, right? The mass of persons or figurative things, especially regularly organized for war. By implication, a campaign, whether it's a campaign literally or figuratively. You see what it says? Especially hardship or worship. So us laboring even in the battlefield was an act of worship. Yahweh Tsebaota Imanu. Jehovah, he who be of armies, of hosts, Imanu, is with us. Misagab Lanu. He is a high place for I and I, a refuge, a Misgab, the heights. He is the heights, higher heights for I and I. Misgab Lanu. Elohei Yaakov, the Elohim of Yaakov, of Jacob. Selah. Interlude, Dia Psalma. The psalm is impressively ended with the repetition of the refrain or the chorus line, so to speak, from verse 7 that strikes its dominant keynote. The dominant keynote right here in this verse, Yahuwah Tsebaota Imanu, Miskab Lanu Elohei Yaakov, Selah. Yahuwah of Tsebaot Imanu is with us. Elohei Yaakov, the Elohim of Jacob, right? Lanu, for I and I, Miskab, a high tower, a height. He's the heights for I and I. Yes, I, Rastafari.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
מזמור מ"ו למנצח לבני קורח על עלמות שיר.
God is our refuge and strength.
אלוהים לנו מחסה ועוז.
A very present help in trouble.
עזרה וצרות נמצא מאוד.
Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed.
על כן לא נראה בהמיר ארץ.
And though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea.
Yes. Again. Yes. There we go.
Psalm 46.
מזמור מ"ו למנצח לבני קורח על עלמות שיר.
God is our refuge and strength.
אלוהים לנו מחסה ועוז.
A very present help in trouble.
עזרה וצרות נמצא מאוד.
Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed.
על כן לא נראה בהמיר ארץ.
And though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea.
ובמות הרים בלב ימים.
Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled.
יהמו יחמרו ממיו.
Though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof.
ירעשו הרים בגאוותו.
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. The heathen raged. The kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice. The earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. See. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. See.
מזמור מ"ו למנצח לבני קורח על עלמות שיר. אלוהים לנו מחסה ועוז, עזרה וצרות נמצא מאוד. על כן לא נראה בהמיר ארץ, ובמות הרים בלב ימים. יהמו יחמרו ממיו, ירעשו הרים בגאוותו סלע. נהר פלגיו ישמחו עיר אלוהים, קדוש משכני עליון. אלוהים בקרבה בל תמות, יעזריה אלוהים לפנות בוקר. המו גויים מתו ממלכות, נתן בקולו תמוג ארץ. אדוני צבאות עמנו, נשגב לנו אלוהי יעקב סלע. לכו חזו מפעלות אדוני, אשר שם שמות בארץ. משבית מלחמות עד קצה הארץ, קשת ישבר וקיצץ חנית, עגלות ישרוף באש. הרפו ודעו כי אנוכי אלוהים, ארום בגויים ארום בארץ. אדוני צבאות עמנו, נשגב לנו אלוהי יעקב סלע.
Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of the Lord. What desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am God.
Be still and know that His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I of Ethiopia, is the Almighty, mighty, 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 mighty.
I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us.
Haile Selassie I.
The God of Jacob is our refuge.
Haile Selassie I.
Selah, 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 Selah.
Yes, 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 yes. So here this Parashat Re'eh. Wow. Parashat Re'eh, Re'eh, Re, see, seen, sight. But pick up more on this Torah reading and feeding for Re'eh, Re, see, seen. Wait, here. Give thanks, brothers and sisters and brothers. Be well. Hopefully the Shabbat going well for you. Stay on the way, the truth, the life. This outro prayer right here.
I that trust in Selassie shall be as Mount Sinai, which cannot be removed, but abideth forever. As the mountains are round about Ethiopia, highly I Selassie is wrong I now, even forever and ever. But the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of I, lest I put forth thy hands unto iniquity. Do good unto I Selassie that trod in thy way and upright in heart. But them that turn aside unto the crooked ways, Selassie shall dash them forth unto the workers of iniquity. But I that love Selassie shall live forever and ever.
Man, stand his plan. All he needs to do is follow the spirit, which is legit. That is how we'll all grow. Know him, Elohim. Man, stand his plan. All he needs to do is follow. Man, stand his plan. Man, stand his plan. Man, stand
Shabuto, Habarim. Shalom, Habarim Lehitarot. Be well. Yes, I.